Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Well, we got a lot to talk about this morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Oh, man. What's going on with Pelosi and the Olympians?
Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-37.
Here we go.
1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-COCAINE-1. That's 1-888-COCAINE-1. And...
Hey, guys. Welcome to the program. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to The Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 45 years on the Florida radio airwaves this year, The Steve Kane Show, that's right. And of course, this is the most important Steve Kane Show of the week because this is not just our live morning edition this Friday morning from 6 till 9 a.m. as we are live every weekday morning from 6 till 9 a.m. This is our overnight rebroadcast, midnight till 6 a.m. all weekend long, and just on our Florida radio stations, because we're both on AM and FM radio stations, just on our Florida radio stations. I'm not including iHeartRadio, the TuneIn app, my YouTube channel, SteveKaneShows.com's live stream, and all the other places that carry this program with and without our permissions. And if you are carrying this program without written permission, you are in violation of all kinds of things, and we've not given written permission to anyone. So you must get permission first before you rebroadcast any portion of this program, people. But just on our radio stations, the Friday edition of the Steve Kane Show airs a total of 35 times before we return live to you Monday morning at 6 a.m. So we always want to make sure the Friday show is the best, and you know what? It is always the best show, isn't it? One show's better than the one before. We've got a lot going on, quite a bit to talk about, and we're going to jump into a lot of issues on the radio today. And also on Fridays, it is open phones at 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. I brought into the studio this morning a family heirloom and a family friend. I brought in my Trumpy bear. That's right, I have my Trumpy bear. Any of you guys have Trumpy bears? I love my Trumpy bear, and I brought in my Trumpy bear this morning. That's right. Down the street from Mar-a-Lago, we have a Trumpy bear, and you know, the Trumpy bear, I know you've seen the ads on television for the Trumpy bear. It has in the back of the Trumpy bear, there's a zipper, and there's an American flag in there. I never take out my American flag from the Trumpy bear because I'm afraid I won't be able to get the American flag blanket back inside the Trumpy bear properly because it fits so perfect the way it comes. But yeah, I got my Trumpy bear here for good luck. I'll just set him back here in the control room behind me, just keeping a watch over the program. And I know, am I the only grown man with a Trumpy bear? I don't think so. I bet a lot of you out there have Trumpy bears. Now, Trumpy bear is awesome. And not only did I bring my Trumpy bear, I've got my copy of my Peter Schweitzer book, Red-Handed. That's right, Red-Handed, How America Elites Get Rich, Helping China Win. And I've had this book for a week. I have not had the opportunity to read the book yet. But I've read the first chapter, and this week, I wanted to read the book this week. But I just haven't had the chance to read the Peter Schweitzer book, Red-Handed, and I brought it in with me today, and I'm going to carry this around with me. I'm going to read this book over the weekend. I can't promise I'll get through the whole thing, but I'm going to make myself read this for two reasons. One, we need to know. We need to know what's going on. I read the first chapter, and maybe is there an introduction and a first chapter? No, the first chapter is an introduction. So I read the first chapter, and that was a week ago, and then I put it down, and I haven't read it since. But the first chapter scared me. Just reading it just really, really scared me. It's frightening because this government is so corrupt, and it was as if I was reading. Like I said last week when I first got the book, like reading a Stephen King novel. It felt like I was reading Salem's Lot or something. It's that frightening of a book red-handed. And I'm going to read this for a couple of reasons over the weekend. One, Greg Kelly had Peter Schweitzer on last night, brought some things up about Biden's Chinese corruption I did not know. And I'm like, I got an obligation. I've got to read this. And I have the book on my nightstand at home, and it's where it's been all week. And I brought it in today because I want to make sure I read it, because the reason I took it off the nightstand and brought red-handed from Peter Schweitzer in this morning is because of what is going on with Nancy Pelosi in the news this morning. When I woke up this morning, and first thing I do before I get out of bed is grab my iPhone. I go to a couple of news websites, Post Millennial in Canada, Breitbart, Trending Politics, a few others before I roll out of bed and get in the shower in the morning. And I saw a story about Nancy Pelosi that I just couldn't believe. It was so shocking. Nancy Pelosi has given a warning to Team USA to not criticize China. I'm going to play the clip in just a moment. And she gives a warning to Team USA, but I feel like it was something she was required to do, possibly by China. And I know there's things about her in this Peter Schweitzer book, Red-Handed. I don't know which chapter it is. There's a chapter in here on Trudeau, too. Page 186 begins chapter 7, the Bush and Trudeau dynasties. Oh, wow. Well, Capitol Hill, that's chapter 3, page 46. So that's probably where Peter Schweitzer has written about Nancy Pelosi. So I'm going to read this book over the weekend, and it's very relevant to what we're talking about this morning on the program. So just let me get to it. Let me play the audio of Nancy Pelosi, and then we'll get started on everything. Where is it? Here it is. Here's Nancy Pelosi early in the morning.
I would say to our athletes, you're there to compete. Do not risk incurring the anger of the Chinese government because they are ruthless. I know there is a temptation on the part of some to speak out while they are there. I respect that, but I also worry about what the Chinese government might do to their reputations, to their families.
Wow. Okay, now the Schumer, he's the next clip. Calm down, Schumer. We'll get to you in just a minute. Okay, now this one here, this is scary to me. You know, constitutionally, she's the third highest ranking member of the United States government, Nancy Pelosi, right? Speaker of the House. She is sending out a warning to Team USA members not to be critical of China or something will happen to them. Your lives will be destroyed. They will get to you. What a senior member of the United States government does in an instance like this is not what she did. What a member of the United States government does in an instance like this is say, hey, China, don't mess with our athletes. They are American citizens. You do what you want over there. Don't break the law. But you're over there in the Olympics. Do what you want to do. Say what you want to say. Criticize who you want to criticize because you're Americans, you're Team USA, you're representing the United States and the freedoms that the United States represents. But that's not what Nancy Pelosi did. Nancy Pelosi did a PR move here for her handlers over there. Nancy Pelosi is doing the PR work of China here, Joe Biden's employer. It's disgusting. And I'm very curious to how the media handled this today. I think Fox, Newsmax, One American News, they'll run with it, I'm sure. I suspect CNN, MSNBC will do what they usually do, cover up the news, because that's what they're in the business of. Not breaking news, not reporting news, covering up news. So I expect that's what we'll see on the mainstream media. But this, I've had it. I mean, this is one of the most disgusting, and this says a lot. This is one of the most disgusting comments I have ever heard a senior member of the United States government share. I've never heard this before. You know, there has always been with American athletes, not just our Olympians, but all of our American athletes, statements, political statements. I've never heard the government of the United States, senior member like this, Speaker of the House, warn American citizens not to exercise the guarantees we have as Americans of free speech, free expression. I've never seen anything like this. Now, I'll tell you, I will not be watching the Olympic Games. I usually do. I'm not a sports guy. I'm not into sports. But I always watch both the Winter and the Summer Olympics. Not this time, because they're in China. I don't know. I don't want to say it's a boycott. That's a little too organized. I'm just not going to put it on television. And I would like to see these Olympics have the lowest ratings ever. About 25, 30 years ago, I don't even remember which Olympics this was, winter, summer, or where, but NBC had this bright idea like 25 or 30 years ago to turn the Olympics into a pay-per-view. Do you remember this? And it was a ratings disaster, and they never went back to the pay-per-view Olympics again, 25, 30 years ago. Seems like it was that long. Maybe it was less. Any of you remember that? And it was a ratings disaster. I would like to see this Winter Olympics have the lowest ratings in the United States of any Olympic Games ever. And you know, I wasn't even going to talk about the Olympics until Nancy Pelosi sent this warning to Team USA. I want to hear your thoughts on this. At 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. On the radio since 1977. I want to tell you guys about Friendly Tire in Margate. Oh man, Friendly Tire in Margate has the lowest prices on tires that you will find anywhere. You will not find tires at prices this low anywhere. I'm telling you. I've been buying tires at Friendly Tire for over 10 years, maybe 15 years. Do you know Friendly Tire in Margate have new tires? New tires. I'm not talking, he has used tires too. In fact, he has thousands of used tires in stock, starting at just $30 for most sizes. High quality, good used tires. New. Now, what I'm going to give you right now, new tires. New tires. I was just over there talking to Friendly Mike yesterday at Friendly Tire. Do you know he has new tires available? One of the most common sizes he sells, $70 a tire, brand new. And by the way, that is out the door and on the road, because Friendly Tire does not charge you to balance the tire, doesn't charge you to mount the tire, doesn't charge you to dispose of your old tire. You know, you go to these other places, you look up prices online, you call them, they give you a price, and then when you're checking out, woo, it's through the roof, a lot more than you thought, because they have all these fees and charges they add on. Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire, his prices that he quotes you are out the door and on the road. Every car in my family is on the road on tires from Friendly Tire. He has all the name brands you know and love too, Bridgestone, Firestone, whatever it is you got. And he can get tires for any type of car. Commercial vehicles, high-end cars. I was over there yesterday, there was a Porsche in the bay. One of those Porsche, what are those SUVs? What are those Porsches, Cayennes? Was it a Cayenne? It was a Porsche SUV. Getting tires. That's right. Great deals on tires. You will not find prices lower anywhere. By the way, Friendly Tire in Margate is also open on Saturday. So if you can't make it in during the week, stop in tomorrow. Here's the number. Mike will give you a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Friendly Tire in Margate. Open on Saturdays as well. Make sure you tell them you heard about him on the Steve Kane Show. New tires. Out the door and on the road as low as $70 a tire. Wow. Great prices. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. This is Chaplain Jethro from Flint, Michigan.
Hey, Chaplain Jethro in Michigan. What's up,
Chaplain Jethro's new
First of
commercial.
all, I want to thank Mike Lindell for the great product called My Slippers.
Good morning,
That
everyone.
cured my neuropathy in a big way. In 10 minutes after I put them on, it went away. This morning I woke up with leg cramps, put them on, leg cramps gone.
That's amazing.
I tell you, it's a great product.
Which one do you have? I have the tan fur-lined moccasin My Slippers. Which ones do you have, Chaplain?
I have the blue ones, and they're fur-lined also.
I've heard from several listeners that the Mike Lindell My Slippers make their neuropathy go away, and there's very little treatment for neuropathy, and people that suffer from it, it's torture, so I appreciate that. All right, Jethro, I appreciate the call, and thanks for the kind words about Mike Lindell's My Slippers and how they help with your neuropathy.
Yes, indeed, they do.
And right now, when you use the promo code KANE at checkout, KANE, save 50% off the My Pillow My Slippers. Go to mypillow.com, click on the radio listener specials, and use our promo code KANE, KANE, for 50% off the My Pillow My Slippers. That's 50% off, but you've got to use the promo code KANE, KANE.
If you suffer with diabetes, there's a 25% chance that you'll develop a foot ulcer that can lead to severe health consequences, including...
If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. And everyone in the chat, please like the video. Liking the video helps spread the word about my channel. And tells the YouTube algorithm to recommend my videos to other people that enjoy this kind of content. So liking the video helps a lot, guys.
Call the Soul Authority today, 954-597-7060.
Welcome back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, broadcasting live with my Trumpy bear behind me. Yes, I'm a grown man with a teddy bear, Trumpy bear, and I'm proud of it. All you guys know you want Trumpy bears too. You know you do. You've seen the commercial. Oh, man. Yeah, so Pelosi, let me play the clip one more time, and then I'm going to bring up some other stuff. But this is disgusting. Pelosi's warning to Team USA.
I would say to our athletes, you're there to compete. Do not risk incurring the anger of the Chinese government because they are ruthless.
Wow.
I know there is a temptation on the part of some to speak out while they are there. I respect that, but I also worry about what the Chinese government might do to their reputations, to their families.
Wow. You know what a Speaker of the House who's got their wits about them, who's got a lick of sense, they don't send the warning to Team USA. They send the word to China, don't you dare do anything to our athletes. So, are they sending Team USA into hostile territory here? I've never seen nor heard anything quite like this before. And I'm disgusted by it. And these poor Olympians, they work all their life for Team USA, and they want to be on the team. They make it to the team, and then the Speaker of the United States House of Representatives, third in the line of power in this country, comes out and pulls a stunt like this. Can you imagine? Which side is she on? What team is she rooting for in the Olympics? Team USA? Doesn't sound like it to me, Nancy. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, it's Mike from Massapequa.
Hey, Mike. What's up?
I'm wondering if Nancy was maybe like 2 years older, I would think she might have had opportunity to advise Jesse Owens to hold back on winning in Olympics.
Oh, Jesse Owens. Oh, what? I tell you, we have smart listeners. We have smart callers, brilliant people in this audience. Our snowflakes don't even know who Jesse Owens is or was. I'll tell you this, he was a Republican and a great man. Jesse Owens, for those that don't know, the Democrats in the audience, is the African-American who won the Olympics in Berlin, and Hitler walked out, right? Because the master race lost to Jesse Owens. And maybe, I bet Oprah forgot about Jesse Owens, because that didn't seem to be on her radar the other day with her Holocaust comments. But Jesse Owens pissed off the Fuhrer, and I think you're right. Nancy Pelosi, don't do it. Don't do it, Jesse. You got to let them win. They're ruthless.
The other thing, Brian, I wonder really, somebody needs to, maybe like Doocy could ask her, what was the suggestion that the athletes' families should be concerned? Is she suggesting that the Chinese government would be trying to do things to American families in the United States?
Well, she said they would harm them, is what it sounded like to me. Listen, I've been around for a while. I have never heard a senior member of the United States government talk this way. Have you?
No, this is scary.
Yeah. Especially after the last 2 years of what the world's been through. And that's why I will not watch the Olympic Games this year. This will be the first Olympics that I have not watched.
Yeah, I won't watch it either.
I usually do. I always watch the Olympics. Not this time. Smart listeners out there? I didn't even think of that myself. Listen to this. Olympic free skier. I'm not sure what that is. What's a free skier? Olympic free skier Ellen Gu. G-U. Is it Gu? Gu, I'll say Gu. Olympic free skier Ellen Gu was born in California. That makes her a U.S. citizen, right? She grew up with all the advantages of a California... I'm reading from Breitbart, by the way. Olympic free skier Ellen Gu was born in California and grew up with all the advantages of a California lifestyle and the Colorado ski slopes. Hey, our Colorado listeners, is it Colorado or Colorado? Still, despite all that, she intends to win gold in the Winter Olympics for China. Gu has recently racked up a series of high-placed finishes and is one of the only athletes in her sport to win international titles in all 3 Olympic disciplines, big air, slopestyle, and halfpipe, according to ESPN. But Gu has announced that instead of competing for Team USA, she intends to compete for China. On Instagram, she says, "This was an incredibly tough decision for me to make. The opportunity to help inspire millions of young people where my mom was born during the 2022 Beijing Olympic Winter Games is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to help to promote the sport I love. Through skiing, I hope to unite people." Yeah, how are you uniting people? By rejecting your country that gave you everything, America. I hope to unite people, promote common understanding, create communism. Create communication, she says, and forge friendships between nations. Gu, born to an American father and a Chinese mother, biggest enemy, China. She has claimed that when she is in the United States, I'm American, and when I'm in China, I'm Chinese. In Beijing, a billboard showing American-born freestyle skier Ellen Gu, also known by her Chinese name Gu Ailing, will compete for China in Beijing. She's seeking Chinese citizenship and a Chinese passport. However, the request may not work out since China does not exactly recognize dual citizenship. Wow. No, the Olympics are not for me. At least not these Olympic Games. Oh my Lord! What's going on here? Now, in her instance, there's 2 possibilities from this skier. Born a U.S. citizen, her dad born and raised in the United States, her mother fled China to come to America. There's a couple of possibilities here. One, her family are Chinese spies. That's one. 2, they bought her out. They're paying her a lot of money to reject America and compete for China. Or 3, China's holding family members of her mother in China hostage or something. And none of those 3 possibilities are good. Either her mother's family in China are being held hostage, they're paying her a lot of money, so she's betraying her country for money, America, or 3, her family are a bunch of Chinese spies. Or maybe the Chinese got to her since Pelosi sent out this warning.
I would say to our athletes, you're there to compete. Do not risk incurring the anger of the Chinese government because they are ruthless. I know there is a temptation on the part of some to speak out while they are there. I respect that, but I also worry about what the Chinese government might do to their reputations, to their families.
Okay, so that the other possibility is that she's the victim of a shakedown from China. Which do you think it is? It's disgusting. It's disgusting to me. You know, sometimes I know we'll have like players that are from other countries that play on certain, U.S. teams, all right? They might play baseball, they might play football, they might play basketball. And the Olympics come around and then they go and play for their home country. That's different than this. This girl was born in California, raised in America. Her father was born and raised in America. Her mother fled China, I guess, I'm assuming. And then she does this. Let me tell you, when she comes back to America, she's going to be one of the shining stars of the talk show circuit, like the View ladies. They're going to take her around and they're going to celebrate her and honor her and respect her. See, Peter Schweizer's book, Red Handed, How American Elites Get Rich Helping China, looks like it's not just in elected officials, it's Olympic athletes as well. Oh my goodness. This is really a bad time in this country, isn't it? There really is. But I'll tell you this: there's always a positive. I can always find a positive. That's what winners do: find positives where you don't think there are any, but there are. What's going to happen here is there's going to be a huge backlash from all of this nonsense that the liberals are doing in every aspect of our life. Every aspect of our life. And that backlash is going to be the red tsunami that's coming this year with the midterm elections. I'm going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. My name's Brian Craig. You are listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show, on the radio since 1977. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. Back right after this. On the line from the offices of William Youngerman. Now, listen, guys, I pinned a link in there to my Marco Polo group. And check that out. Marco Polo is a free app, completely free. I have the free, there's a paid version of the app. I have the free app version, and it's my group. And I got a group there, and a lot of you guys I know are members of it. And you can leave all kinds, it's a private group, Brian Craig fans. And if you click the link, it'll take you there. It's available in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. You can leave voice messages, you can leave videos, talk about anything you want. And it's a pretty active group that I'm always commenting in, my wife's always commenting in, and I know a lot of you guys are too. Wesley, $10 super chat, thank you. Good morning, Brian. No problem. NPJB Goo and others should be called out for treason. Nancy Pelosi. Goo is the Olympian, and Joe Biden is JB. I thought you meant no problem at first. They should be called out for and tried for treason, but they never will. Right on, Wesley. Everyone thank Wesley for that. But if you join that Marco Polo group, it's a great community. I think you'll enjoy it. I know I do. Yeah, there's a lot. I just posted a video there right as I was leaving my house this morning. That's amazing. $500 less. Yeah, but I'm sure the TV guy are limiting it to 5 coins per call at this point. Now listen, William Youngerman, the number 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010. Online, WilliamYoungerman.com. The address, 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto. All right, that's it. All right, take care. Take care.
Traveling and need a COVID test? Maybe you need a COVID test for work or school. Stop by Any Lab Test Now of Boca or Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. They offer all the
all right, Jane.
you need at the
oh, sure.
including the antibody test, Results in 15 minutes. Any lab test now available is located in the Sandalwood Plaza, where Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsborough on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Call 561-237-5009. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner of University Drive in Ramblewood, near the Coral Square Mall in Coral Springs. Call 954-906-5983. Make sure to tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida.
Welcome, everyone. If you're new here, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel.
1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for it.
All right, 34 minutes after the hour, I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show. Airbnb has blacklisted conservative Michelle Malkin and her husband. Michelle Malkin and her husband are no longer allowed to use Airbnb to book stays. This is just insane. This is in Breitbart, by the way. Conservative author and journalist Michelle Malkin and her husband were banned by Airbnb as retaliation for her engaging in a free speech conference last November. Michelle Malkin says her speech delved into the K-20 metastasis of anti-white curriculum, the corporate media's whitewashing of black on Asian attacks. Yeah, like that poor girl who was pushed to her death on the subway train, right? In the long campaign to censor nationalistic descendants who put America first. San Francisco-based Airbnb notified Michelle Malkin she was banned from using their services ever again and deleted her account. On Wednesday, Michelle Malkin shared a screenshot of an email she received from Airbnb, which began this, quote, "It has come to our attention that you are a keynote speaker for the 2021 American Renaissance Conference earlier this month in Tennessee. Airbnb's community policies prohibit people who are members of or actively associate with known hate groups," the email continued. "Due to your promotion and participation in a known white nationalist and white supremacist conference, we have determined, Airbnb, that we will remove your account from Airbnb." So Airbnb has said that Michelle Malkin is a white nationalist, white supremacist. For those that don't know, Michelle Malkin is Filipino American. She's Filipino, which is, she's Asian. She's Asian American. She's Filipino. Now, from what I understand about white nationalist and white supremacist, to be a member of a white nationalist group or a white supremacist organization, they have a requirement, right? The requirement is that you are white. So Airbnb, I've never stayed in an Airbnb. I've thought about it, but I don't know. I just don't feel safe bringing my computer or electronics to some person's house and staying there or apartment. And I'm always afraid there's cameras all over the place. I don't know. It just seems kind of sketch to me. But anyway, can someone explain to me how Filipino, Asian American, are Filipinos considered Asians as well? I don't know. I live in a colorblind world. At least I try. I know the liberals in the media don't like that. I live in Martin Luther King's dream. But now maybe I'm wrong. I don't know everything. Right? I don't know. Maybe I'm a little slow this morning. I'm a little behind on my coffee. A lot behind on my coffee. So maybe I'm not completely awake yet. But Airbnb says that Michelle Malkin is a white nationalist and white supremacist. To be a white nationalist or white supremacist, do you not have to be white, or are they allowing Asian Americans in now, Filipino Americans in now? Airbnb's community policies, back to Breitbart, prohibit people who are members of or actively associate with known hate groups. Due to your promotion and participation in a known white nationalist and white supremacist conference, we, Airbnb, have determined we will remove your account from Airbnb. This is consistent with action we've taken to ban people associated with this conference in past years,
Airbnb said. The lodging company went on to say that it was also banning Michelle Malkin's husband's account. I guess, I don't know, is her husband Asian, Filipino? Is he Caucasian? If he's Caucasian, he is in an interracial marriage and has interracial children. So you're telling me that somebody who's in I don't know, is her husband white? Is he Asian? Is he Filipino? If he is, he's an Asian, Filipino, white supremacist too? And if he's Caucasian, he's in an interracial marriage and his children are biracial. He's a white nationalist, white supremacist too? Airbnb went on to say it was also banning Michelle Malkin's husband's account because he has been known to book reservations for her. Removal means that your account will no longer be accessible and you won't be able to create another one, Airbnb said. As we can see that your Airbnb travels are typically reserved via your husband's account, we will also proceed in removing his account. Michelle Malkin explained that in a post on umz.com that she spoke at a peaceful conference held by an organization that is deemed a hate group by the Southern Poverty Law Center in the ADL. Please. The title of my talk was Race, Immigration, and Con Inc. C-O-N. How I Came to See the Light, Malkin added. It was a wide-ranging discussion of my 3 decades of reporting on the nation's demographic and cultural deterioration, which I've chronicled firsthand on college campuses, at our borders, and in every crime-ridden, riot-prone, and mass migration transformed metropolis from Los Angeles to Seattle and Portland to Baltimore, D.C., New York, and Denver. Michelle says her speech delved into the K-20 metastasis of anti-white curriculum, right, critical race, the corporate media's whitewashing of black on Asian attacks, and the long campaign to censor nationalist dissidents who put America first. She added that 1 week later, Michelle Malkin said, Airbnb notified me I was banned from using its services ever again. Oh boy, I don't know. I mean, is it possible to be non-white and a member of a white supremacist group? This is a strange new world we're in, friends, and it's a world that I just don't quite understand. I thought I had a pretty good understanding of these kind of things. Oh my goodness. What the hell is going on in this country? What the hell is going on? You know what's going on? We're a country that has no strong leadership right now. You know, President Clinton had a lot of problems, okay? A lot of problems. But if you went to President Clinton, who was a very leftist Democrat, if you went to President Clinton and you looked over President Clinton, and I don't think I'm exaggerating by this, he would look like a Reagan conservative, a MAGA conservative, compared to what's running the country right now. You know, I saw this display with Biden, with Mayor Adams in New York yesterday. Mayor Adams reporting for duty, he says. Why is he reporting to duty to who? You know, he said, I'm not going to play the audio because I'll just tell you. You may have seen it online. I saw it on Greg Kelly last night too, and I was going to pull it up, and I was like, I don't want to listen to Biden's voice. And this Mayor Adams is a real piece of work. He said, Mayor Adams said he was sitting next to Biden sucking up, and Mayor Adams said they call him the Biden of Brooklyn? Who wants to be called the Biden of anything? What does that even mean? That you're corrupt? You're suffering cognitive decline? They're going to have a lobby group like every other group. What would the felon lobby for? Well, we're seeing it now. No bail, no punishment, defunding the police. Second Amendment doesn't give you the right to own a cannon. Who's out buying cannons? By the way, I don't know if that's true. Our number is toll-free 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. Back after this.
Steve Kane radio listeners love Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca.
I went over to a Champagne Automotive, and I gotta say that this man is the most third mechanic I have dealt with in my entire life. We took a car over there that was not being used.
Yeah, some of this content today is causing buffering, so you got to bear with me.
Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca will never do a repair on your car that your car doesn't need. And their prices are low. Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca. Give them a call. 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101.
Hi, I'm Dr. Janae Lomaski. In my practice, I'm seeing that emotions are raw and the stress levels are high. A major reason for this is COVID-19. COVID-19 has become a recent staple in our lives. Even Steve Kane tested positive for COVID and endured symptoms for 3 weeks. His fears went through his new roof. Are you ruminating about...
Hey everyone, tell me where you're located. State, country, however you want to tell us.
If you have COVID worries and fear the worst,
Terry, that's called a joke. It's called humor.
many people that are
Something obviously Terry doesn't have.
There are so many mental practices you can do.
Thank you, Kim.
Through this difficult time and move on. If you are experiencing any difficulties, call me 561-777-2021. That's 561-777-2021. Or email me at drjlomaski@gmail.com. You can also join me live every Saturday at 11 a.m. as your psychological source. Be careful, not fearful. You don't have to do this alone.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search WN.
All right, welcome back. 46 minutes after the hour. Don't forget, tomorrow on all of our radio stations and iHeartRadio, at 11 a.m., Dr. Janae Lomaski, my therapist, Steve Kane's therapist, and Al Knight. Their show is on the air from 11 a.m. till noon every Saturday on all of our radio stations and iHeartRadio. They do take calls live on the air, and you can get some free therapy from Dr. Lomaski. And I do know that a lot of people in this audience, some of you need some therapy out there. I think so. And you can get it by listening to that program and calling in live on the air. All right, our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. There's another one. There's another traitor Olympian. Now, this is insane. I'm looking at Breitbart during the break. Now, the Olympics that I'm not watching in China, as our president says, the Team USA has been warned by Pelosi, don't speak out against China.
I would say to our athletes, you're there to compete. Do not risk incurring the anger of the Chinese government because they are ruthless. I know there is a temptation on the part of some to speak out while they are there. I respect that, but I also worry about what the Chinese government might do to their reputations, to their families.
Wow. Your families are in danger too, Pelosi says, if you're on Team USA. What the Speaker of the House says is, China, don't mess with our Olympians or their families. But not her. And she's almost telling this is like a warning you get from the State Department. Do not go to Iran, right? So we have some traitors, Olympians. I was talking earlier about this girl skier from California who's betraying America, committing treason, and will be, born and raised in California, trained to ski at the Colorado slopes there, and she's playing for the Chinese Olympic team. Well, she's not the only traitor on the teams over there. This is insane. I feel like I'm looking at a Saturday Night Live skit back in the days when it was funny. She's not alone. Gu is her name. Gu, G-U, Gu. She's not alone. American hockey players Jake Chilios and Jeremy Smith have decided to play for China in the Winter Olympic Games. According to Outkick, Jake Chilios, the son of pro hockey player Chris Chilios,
moved to Beijing in 2019 to play for the China-owned Kunlun Red Star in the KHL. And he has decided to join Team China for the Olympics. I think half the family was a little confused of what was going on at first, but now they're starting to understand how special it is playing for Team China, not Team USA. Since we've been over here for 3 years, whatever it is, you do start to feel a closeness to China. We've been eating Chinese food. We've been living the Chinese culture. So there's a certain closeness you start to feel with China. And you start to feel like you're actually going to represent them and you want to win for them. China. Oh my goodness. And this guy's as white as I am. And he's in his Chinese uniform. Oh my goodness. Former NHL goaltender Jeremy Smith has also gone to play for Communist China. Jeremy Smith added he was flattered to be asked to join the Communist. Of course I said yes, Smith says. I think it's an honor to play in the Olympics. But to dream of playing for the host city in the Olympics, I didn't ever think there'd be a chance for me to do that in my lifetime. Here's a story from Facebook, Newark, New Jersey, February 14th. Is this last year? What year was this? Playing in his first NHL game, Jeremy Smith, number 40 of the Colorado Avalanche, tends net against the New Jersey Devils at the Prudential Center, February 14th, 2017, in Newark, New Jersey. China has been under a cloud for hosting the Olympics. It goes on. I mean, my goodness. You know, I'm in shock. I have never, ever heard of something like this. What do you think Trump would do if he was in the White House right now? We have 3 American citizens who have defected to China. You know, during the Cold War, there have been American defectors. There were a couple of lunatics that were in the army in South Korea who walked across the border to the north and defected to North Korea in the 60s and things like this, and they become propaganda people. There were Americans who defected to Russia. There were Americans, Black Panthers mostly, but there were Americans who defected to Cuba. What do you do with defectors? Well, Lee Harvey Oswald, recruited by the CIA probably when he came back. Maybe he was in the CIA before, who knows? But he was a defector. What kind of American was he? A low-life American, Lee Harvey Oswald. He defected to Russia, who was our sworn enemy at the time. You know, here you got Biden trying to make Russia into an enemy again. Nothing's wrong in Russia right now. Everything's fine. Ukraine's fine. Even if they're not, who cares? Here we have 3 American kids who have defected from Team USA to Team China in the Olympic Games. I mean, this is textbook treason. And by the way, are they banned from Airbnb? With the human rights abuses and racism going on over there in China? Oh my goodness. That's why this Peter Schweitzer book, this is why I'm reading this Peter Schweitzer book this weekend. Red-Handed. How American Elites Get Rich by Helping China Win. From Peter Schweitzer. This is insanity, what's going on here. How many of you are standing with me and not watching the Olympic Games? We have at least 3 American defectors playing on Team China. Who the hell would do such a thing? I am like, I got a headache this morning. I do. I feel like I woke up today in like a parallel universe. Let me look outside. Like, is this a duplicate Earth? How many suns are there over the beach? Just one, okay. I thought there might be 2 suns coming up, like I'm not on the world that I went to sleep in. Or I fell asleep for 80 years and woke up in a whole new world. I mean, my goodness. You know, there's a great American that I know you guys support because I support, the Thomas Edison of sleep, Mike Lindell. His bank in Minnesota canceled him. He's being sued in a defamation lawsuit for $1.3 billion with a B because he stands with Trump. Mike Lindell was asked, how can people help you? He said, go to mypillow.com and buy something. And of course, when you do that, you want to use our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, because not only do you get big savings with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, but you're standing with Mike Lindell and you're also supporting the Steve Kane Radio Show, the most pro-Donald Trump radio show on the planet and the longest running radio show in the state of Florida. Now listen to this. A couple of specials here I'm going to tell you about right now are incredible flash specials. And here's what you do. You go to mypillow.com. Scroll down. It'll be on the right side of your screen. mypillow.com. When you see the square with Mike Lindell holding the American flag, Mike Lindell holding that great American flag, it says save up to 66%. Click that. Okay? And with our promo code KANE, incredible deals. 50% off the My Pillow, My Slippers with the promo code KANE at checkout. K-A-N-E. They have multiple styles and colors for both men and women, and all sizes are in stock. The My Pillow itself, lowest price ever, with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, just $19.98. The 6-piece My Pillow towel set. They're saying this is a 3-day flash sale, and it's beginning today, so you got to go and take advantage of this. You'll hear Christine and talk about her My Pillow towels. I have the My Pillow towels, dried off with a My Pillow towel this morning. The 6-piece My Pillow towel set, regularly $109.99. Save over 70% with our promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, just $29.99. $29.99. It's usually $110. Save over 70%. The 3-inch My Pillow mattress topper, which comes with a 10-year warranty. I sleep on that My Pillow mattress topper. It will change your life. We got it because my wife was suffering from back pain. We put it on a Saturday. In the morning, we woke up. Her back pain was gone. It hasn't returned. And for the first time in years, I woke up and the sun was out. I always wake up hours early. And now, because I sleep so well, I get a restful night's sleep with my My Pillow mattress topper. I wake up with the alarm in the morning. I don't wake up before. It's amazing. The 3-inch My Pillow mattress topper. This is the thickest mattress topper that Mike Lindell makes. Comes with a 10-year warranty. It's the same mattress topper I sleep on. 50% off with the promo code KANE at checkout. K-A-N-E. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of other great things there, too. Now, again, you go to mypillow.com. Scroll down to be on the right hand of your screen. When you see the picture of Mike Lindell carrying the American flag, save up to 66%. It's actually save up to 70% on the towels. Click the picture of Mike Lindell with the American flag for these savings. You can also order by phone. 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. All right, 1 hour down, 2 to go. I'm going to jump into some new topics in the next hour, but I'm not going to let this go. We're going to hear from the great next governor of Arizona, the great Kari Lake coming up, and we got a bunch more too. We've only just scratched the surface. You are listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. Our number is toll-free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take that break for the top of the hour and be right back after this.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Dr. Matez here from the Biostation West Delray. Many of you are familiar with the famous erection injection, an extremely effective treatment for erectile dysfunction made popular right here on the Steve Kane Show. I'm here to tell you that the erection injection is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the extensive array of treatment options now available at the Biostation West Delray. Our custom compounded products yield combinations and dosages that increase the efficacy of Viagra and Cialis greatly. We also offer treatments that can correct the problem at its source, such as PRP and sound wave pulse therapies that restore your natural function. State-of-the-art testing and the most current treatment options all available in one place, the Biostation West Delray. If you want to correct your erectile problems once and for all, call us at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
Hi, Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Building Restoration. We
Wait a minute.
The 2021 hurricane season. Now it's time to get your building envelope ready for the next season. Laporta Contracting installs all types of roofs, from asphalt, clay, and concrete, standing metal seam, flat roofs, and slate tile systems. Our building restoration offers complete envelope protection, weatherproofing, and painting. Laporta Contracting serves single-family, multifamily, HOAs, and commercial properties. Call Laporta Contracting today for a free evaluation and estimate, and go to our website to see our team and past customer videos at laportacontracting.com. Our number is 954-604-4602. That number again is 954-604-4602. And thanks for listening to the Steve Kane Show.
If you suffer with diabetes,
Wow, Dan, that's awesome. Now, that link that I pinned up there in the chat is from my Marco Polo group. Marco Polo is a completely free app in the Android and Apple App Store, and I have a group there, Brian Craig fans. That link will take you to it. And go and check it out. It explains itself. It's a place where myself, my wife, and members of the group, who a lot of the members are in the chat room on YouTube each and every day. You know the names. You can post videos, photographs, anything you want, and it's a great community. We talk about issues and make a lot of friends that way too. I put the link up there to my Marco Polo group. The app is completely free. There's a paid version, but you don't need to get that. I don't have the paid version. I have the free version, and it's my group. Okay? So you don't have to get the paid version. Download the free version. Check it out. I made a video right before I left this morning.
They begin. Oftentimes, amputation due to diabetes is preventable, and one of the preventable measures that is most effective is wearing the...
What do you guys think about these Americans playing on Team China?
597-7060 or online at thesoulauthority.com. That's THESOLE authority.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
I mean, is it treason? These athletes? Hold on, I gotta clear my throat. Let me take my mic off. You know, I talk so much for work. The radio show, the podcast, and everything. My throat needs a break. When I'm off the air, I don't talk that much. My jaws are tired. My mouth works more than a street-walking prostitute. All right, hour number 2 has begun. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. My name is Brian Craig. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. I'm joined in studio today with my Trumpy Bear. Brought my Trumpy Bear from home. And I love Trumpy Bear. I've had this Trumpy Bear since they first came out. This is the original Trumpy Bear. I know they got a new one I see on TV all the time. But I saw this. My wife got this for me when they first were available on TV. And I know I am not the only grown man with a Trumpy Bear. And if you're a man who doesn't have a Trumpy Bear, you know you want one. You know you do. Oh, man. Yeah, my wife got this one for me, and I love it. And It's soft and it's cuddly. Oh, man. You know, I never had a teddy bear as a child. Now I got a Trumpy bear. That's right. I'll set him back here. Lean him up against the radio behind me. Oh, man. Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. A lot is going on. We have been talking about quite a bit today, and you're welcome to call in on anything I've brought up so far. The first hour was filled with a lot of disturbing stuff going on in this country, and it's getting worse. Okay, now I want to share this with you from MSNBC. Brittany Packnett Cunningham. She was on Joy Reid's show. You know, Joy Reid, that program, and let me tell you, okay, I will tell you this. I am not a censorer of speech. How can I be? Speech, that's how I make my living. You know, and I am all, like this business with Whoopi Goldberg this week, all right? You know, I'm not saying cancel Whoopi Goldberg. I think there's a good chance she may not return to The View. She makes a lot of money over there, though. But if you don't like what she's saying, don't watch The View. I don't watch The View. When something happens over there, I hear about it, you hear about it in the news, and I go online and get the audio and pull it up and play for you, I don't watch The View. I don't think very many people do. I think when there's a controversy, people talk about it. It's one of those things people talk about, but they don't watch. I really don't think so. But I'm not for canceling her. But there is an exception to that. And this is the exception to our freedom of speech in this country. And it's when you incite violence. The incitement of violence, you don't have free speech to do that. And I believe, and I know I'm not alone in this, others believe this as well, that the Christmas parade massacre in Wisconsin, which obviously was a direct result after the Kyle Rittenhouse verdict, many believe, including myself, and I know a lot of you do too, that Joy Reid played a role in instigating that Christmas parade murderous attack. So she's crossed the line many times. Joy Reid's program is the most racist thing ever to be on national television. It really is, at least since color television. I mean, there's just no getting around it. It is what it is. And yesterday, she had on her show this Brittany Cunningham, and she was talking about what the slogan, Make America Great Again, means. Let me play this for you. This is Brittany Cunningham on Joy Reid's MSNBC program yesterday.
Joy, I'm so glad you reminded us that the McCloskeys were front row and center to testify on behalf of passing this bill. This was, of course, the couple that was made famous by stepping outside of their restricted covenant mansion in St. Louis, Glocks in tow.
Those weren't Glocks. Mrs. McCloskey looked like she had a cigarette lighter. I don't know what that was. But Mr. McCloskey, he had that was like an AR-15. And they lived in a gated community, and the protesters broke down an iron gate and stormed through it. Their home had been violated because they broke down that thick iron gate and stormed into the community.
Their guns out on unarmed black protesters. But of course, to people like the McCloskeys, black skin is weapon enough. And this is precisely the...
I mean, what would you... If you've got a gate, an iron gate, in front of your home, on your street, and a mob break down the iron gate, the thick iron gate, and are storming down your street, what would you do?
The problem. This is exactly what this bill is designed to do. It's to legitimize seeing blackness as a weapon in and of itself and then justify our murders. It is meant to terrorize us and frighten us away from ever using our voices. I also want to set the proper highest number of lynchings outside of the Deep South.
Okay, yeah. And that's when Missouri was run by all Democrats that were running Washington, because who was the Democrat from Missouri who was running America in the 1950s? Democrat Harry Truman. Harry Truman. President of the United States, right? Early 50s, but still, and from Missouri when they had this lynching record. Do you think Joy Reid, do you think Ms. Cunningham, Brittany Cunningham, that the reason they had the #1 lynchings is because they were racist and they sent Senator Truman to Washington to represent them, who became the Democrat president after the death of FDR?
Away from ever using our voices. I also want to set the proper historical context because back in the day, by 1950, Missouri had the second highest number of lynchings outside of the Deep South. So when folks talk about making America great again, that's the kind of Missouri grand old tradition that they want to return to. They want to return to days when you could lynch or murder black folks and there would be absolutely no retribution for it. That's hyperbole. I'm telling you as a black Missourian and as a protester, that is reality.
Oh, okay. Make America Great, the Make America Great Again crowd, that's you, that's me, want to go back to the era where lynching black folks was okay. What about the blacks for Trump that I see at the rallies behind President Trump? I've met the blacks for Trump. Go on my Instagram. I got a picture with the guy. What are they talking about? And you know what's scary about this conversation on Joy Reid's program? They believe that nonsense. They're in this bubble of racism. They believe that garbage. All right, let me take some calls. 1-888-GO-CANE1. Friday is open phones, but I would hope you would have some interest in the topics I brought up. I would certainly like to hear your thoughts on the topics I've brought up since 6 a.m. I think I brought up some good stuff. But it is open phones as well, always on Fridays. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE1. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Hey, Doug.
You know, that is Joy Reid character. She says all this good nonsense, but who on anybody's side wants to go back to lynching black? Isn't that the dumbest thing I've ever heard? I mean, she doesn't say, no, she doesn't have any record of it.
Well, when, she's from Missouri. When Missouri had the record number of lynchings, it was Democrats that were doing it, and Harry S. Truman, the Democrat president, was from Missouri, who was in office during that period. She left that part out, but Joy Reid went to Harvard. I'm sure in that Harvard education, she's well aware of this.
I think that she's like Obama went to Harvard the easy way, and very articulate. But anyhow, how could she say something today? Well, who is saying that? Oh yeah, let's go back and lynch black.
Nobody's saying that. Nobody's saying that. That's just stupid.
The dumbest thing I ever heard. And then these people going for the Olympics. Oh my! Well, how low could somebody go? That is the dumbest. Again, let's go.
I believe if you are an American and you go and play for another nation's team, I call that treason. This is just treason.
That certainly, I don't. They're not going against the country. I guess they're not doing anything to hurt us. But
sure, it does. Sure, it undermines this country. The Olympics. America shines during the Olympics. Team USA, we always win the most medals. And now we've got defectors. We've got defectors that are leaving Team USA and playing for Team China. No, it's disgusting. Hey, Doug, thanks for the call. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Rich.
Hey, Richie.
Your topics are so great. I could spend the whole morning talking about them. First of all, you don't remember probably Zenith, Admiral, all these different companies.
Of course I remember Zenith and Admiral. Yes.
Things started being made in China because corporate America has sold us out. The politicians have sold us out. The athletes in the professional sports have...
Well, since I got Richie, let me play this. I played this in the first. I want to play this again, and I want to get your response, Richie. The Speaker of the United States House of Representatives, the Nancy Pelosi, has sent out a warning to Team USA heading to Beijing for the Olympics. Here it is.
I would say to our athletes, you're there to compete. Do not risk incurring the anger of the Chinese government because they are ruthless. I know there is a temptation on the part of some to speak out while they are there. I respect that, but I also worry about what the Chinese government might do to their reputations, to their families.
And amazing until...
We'll get to Schumer in a minute. So, and one of our callers in the first hour made a good point. In Nancy Pelosi's freshman year in the House, did she warn Jesse Owens not to upset the Germans and Chancellor Hitler at the 1936 Olympics in Berlin? I mean, what are your thoughts on this? This is disgusting.
Here's my thoughts on this, okay? You had Afghanistan, believe this or not. When we left Americans behind in Afghanistan, and the way he pulled out of Afghanistan, our bubble that they keep around America, there was a time where Americans could take their passport and they could go all over the world and not worry about anything because they know that the United States government was going to protect them.
Well, apparently you need to have a Chinese passport now for such protections.
In other words, so the president-chief that we got right now is the biggest trade in this country. Nancy Pelosi's whole family is invested in China. Everybody ought to wake up already, man.
Invested in China or bought by China? Those aren't real investments. Those aren't like real investments.
I'm a sports fanatic. I will not watch 1 minute of that.
No, I'm not going to watch it. But I don't even know. Has it started yet? Have the opening ceremonies aired yet? I told my wife last night. We always watch the Olympics, and I said there is no way in hell I'm going to sit there and watch China share the beauty and greatness of China in an opening ceremony. There's no way in hell.
Joy Reid, real quick. The McCloskeys, okay? The McCloskeys are heroes. You know why they're heroes? Because they didn't shoot anybody. Because they came in the market and where I live, and there are black people living in here, which will also they blow their brains out. When you got a mob of people saying that we're going to burn your house down with you in it, what are you going to do?
And remember, they broke down a very thick, strong iron gate, right, and busted into the community. They were a threat.
Threatened them personally to burn their house down.
That's right.
Down. What are you going to do? Sit there? That when McCloskeys are heroes, we're not shooting them. I'm telling you right now. I mean, this has gotten out of hand there, and I'm sorry, I don't preach violence, but these people that are on big platforms like Joy.
Well, Joy Reid's show. See, this is much worse than what Whoopi and The View does. What she does is instigate violence. I believe the Christmas parade massacre in Wisconsin was a result of her program, and she's instigating even more by promoting this type of rhetoric on her program. That's disgusting. If somebody called in like that on this program, I would not allow it.
Who owns them? Comcast or AT&T? This is outrageous.
Yeah. Richie, I got to run for a break. You're right. Thanks for the call. We'll be right back.
Attention,
be right back,
seniors
guys.
And those who care about them. This is Brian Craig. I'm in studio with Debbie from I Will Advisors. She has an incredible new service to tell you about called I Will Advocates. Debbie, what is I Will Advocates, and how are you helping seniors?
Well, Brian, over the past few years of owning a Medicare insurance agency, we've learned that there's a huge need for Medicare advocacy, that a lot of people don't have a child or a spouse that can assist them with their medical needs, and that's where we step in.
Hold on, you'll be next. Hold on. Steve Kane Show, hold on.
Prescriptions, doctor's appointments.
I know you might think, because a lot of you guys, it's cold where you're at, and I'm wearing long sleeves today. I'm actually wearing shorts. I mean, see if I can show you my legs. See? I'm just wearing these long sleeves because they keep the air conditioning like at 66 degrees here at the radio station. But no, it's a beautiful, like a summer day here in Florida.
So if someone's in the hospital, they feel they're not getting the care that they need, they haven't seen their doctor, they haven't seen their nurse, they can actually call you and you'll contact them.
Be right back. Hold on.
Absolutely. We act as your family. We'll step up, we'll call the nurses station and ask for some assistance. If we can't get anything done there, we'll go to the higher levels.
Now, this is a service that you're offering. Now, they do not have to be an existing client of I Will Advisors to take advantage of this, right?
Oh, of course not. No, we're here for any Medicare client. We can assist in any way. We don't need to be your insurance agent. We're just here to help you with your medical needs.
This is an incredible opportunity for those of you who are Medicare.
Good morning, everyone. Make sure you like the video if you haven't, and if you're new, please subscribe.
Including the primary care physician and specialist, right?
Of course, we'll assist in anything to help you find new doctors.
They'll help you with your medical billing. They'll help you with your insurance billing. If you feel you've been billed wrong by your doctor, they'll step
is a concierge service to senior citizens.
That's exactly it.
That's amazing. I've never heard of anything like this before. So how
Steve,
much does this cost?
Well, for just $20 a month, you will have the security.
Some trolls on the phone this morning.
Compassionate advocate, just a touch of a button away.
To learn more, call Debbie's office. The number 954-345-1214. 954-345-1214. Or go online. You can sign up online at iwilladvocates.com. That's iwilladvocates.com.
Steve Kane Show. Hold on. All right, good morning, everyone. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. We'll go right to the phones. By the way, Debbie from I Will Advisors, no matter where you are in America, she can help you with that great help that she's offering there. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Lenny. I'm Delray Beach.
All right. Lenny and Delray, what's up?
Just a couple pointers. We all buying products. Doesn't matter where, Walmart, Amazon, any place else. It's all made in China.
Correct.
Not supporting China.
Well, that's not always true. You know, Mike Lindell at My Pillow, everything made right here in the USA at his plant in Minnesota.
Definitely our guy, definitely. He's like us. He's conservative. He's Republican. Definitely 100%. But we do find Chinese-made products, which is not bad. You know, some points and stuff. This is the one point. And the second point about Russia. Maybe you know, maybe you listeners, you know, we do have enough big giant companies, U.S. companies like a Caterpillar, John Deere, and Seta in Russia. They have a port in Russia. So U.S.-made companies. And what the government in Russia, their kids, their wives, don't live in Russia. They live in U.S. and England and nowhere else. We're trying to double spending on our country's water. You know, we're trying to say, oh, Russia, they're going to invade Ukraine. What's in Ukraine? The east part of Ukraine is most industrial.
Well, now let me ask you. You're calling me from Delray, but from your accent, you're not originally from Delray. Where are you from originally? What country?
From Russia.
I figured so. So you went, and let me ask you, what year were you born?
1954.
Oh, 19. So you understand communism, and I remember I would meet when Obama was president. Listeners from Eastern Europe, like Hungary, Russia, they would tell me when Obama speaks, he says the same thing in English that they used to hear back in Russia or Hungary back in the day. What's going on in Ukraine and Russia? There's no conflict. There's no problem. This is a fake war being promoted by Biden, probably because he's got some people in the Ukraine that have dirt on him and his creepy son.
Right, yeah. But, you know, like I said, my feeling is Russia, Putin, he's not going to do anything. He's just showing his muscles. They can do, but I doubt it if they're going to do anything. If they want to do anything, they don't want our missiles and NATO missiles so close to the border.
Yeah, you know, I wish that these socialists like AOC could spend a day just talking to you about Russia, so you could explain to AOC what socialism really is like.
Yeah. We're trying to. We gotta vote. We gotta vote these people out. You know, it's no way they're doing anything good for us as a country. I'm being an immigrant, you know, I'm for
Jacqueline, $20 super sticker. Thank you. Everyone, thank Jacqueline. Yeah. Now, I'm assuming you did not walk into the United States from the U.S. southern border. You probably went through a process, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Are you a U.S. citizen? Are you an American now? How long did it take you to become an American? How long did it take? How long was?
Then 4 years.
4 years.
You're right. What?
4 years, you said.
4 years. Usually it takes 4 years. And I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
Now you just walk across and they give you everything. You just walk across the border, they give you everything. Yeah.
We don't need people. Absolutely, yes. We're short of truckers. We're short of mechanics. The regular blue collar guys. It's what we're short of. Everybody want to make quick money. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, listen, I got to run, but thanks. Hey, listen, I got to run, but welcome to the pro. Are you a new listener?
What?
Are you a new listener to the program?
No, I listen to you all the time for the last couple of years.
Oh, you called before? Well, I'm sorry that I don't recall, but I won't forget you again. The Delray Russian. Okay, take care, man. Thanks for the call. It's so amazing. One great thing about living here in Ron DeSantis' free Florida is the diversity, right, you have in Florida. We have the greatest diversity of any other state in the union, even more than New York City, because we also have political diversity. But when you meet people from we got a lot of Russians in Florida, a lot of Russians that are now U.S. citizens like that gentleman. And when you talk to people that are from the former Soviet Union or Eastern Europe or Cuba, they understand what these Democrats are all about, because what the Democrats are promoting is what they escaped from. And that's why you find someone who was born in the 1950s in Stalin's Soviet Union is a MAGA man, like the Delray Russian. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning. It's Juan.
Hey, Juan.
Hey, Brian, what Nancy Pelosi said, though disgusting as it is, you can't take away the truth element. And here's what I mean. If one of those athletes speak out, that could easily lead to another international crisis, which I don't want this country that I love so much embroiled in. So you got to think of the consequences of if those athletes use that platform. It's not going to...
Oh, really? So you think if Trump was in the White House, he'd be sending out warnings of speech caution to the athletes? He would tell China, you mess with our athletes, you're done. You mess with our athletes' family, you're done.
Not who's in the White House.
Yeah, I understand. We're a client state now. We're like a satellite state of China.
If it was Trump, we would not be facing any of these crises. But we don't have this kind of leadership. So under this kind of leadership, I want to avoid any more turmoil.
That's not what she's doing. Listen, what she's doing is she's working as a press spokesperson for her employer, China.
Yes, understood. But under the again, I'm repeating myself. Do you want to face have a?
No, listen, we've got 3 American citizens that have defected from Team USA playing for Team China. There's no way in hell this would be happening with Trump in. We're in trouble. We're in trouble. We've got 3 defectors who are committing treason playing on the Chinese Olympic team. We've got the Speaker of the House telling Americans, don't use your free speech rights. You and your family are in danger if they do. What the hell is going on here? I think Peter Schweitzer knows in his book, Red Handed, that I got here with me in the studio.
And this is why you want to avoid any kind of confrontation. I mean, because those people, if anything happens where our way of life is interrupted, those people have their passes to go to Western Europe, to go anywhere they want. We don't. We're going to be left holding the bag.
All right. I mean, so you agree with Nancy Pelosi? Our athletes should keep their mouths shut?
Thing is free speech over there.
Mm-hmm.
Free speech. Do it here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Take care. I disagree with all of that. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning. This is Chuck up in Central Florida.
Chuck in Central. Oh, hey, Chuck. How you doing? I haven't heard from you on the phone in years.
I know. I know. That guy struck a nerve. I had to call in this time. I think this previous caller, he's forgotten all about the concept of peace through strength. President Reagan put that out there, and it's very, very true. You can't go around kowtowing to the Chinese. they have also showed how savvy they are because they behind the scenes they do all their dirty work. They have gone. They have this heavy influence in sports, as we can see. Not only with these athletes, but look at what LeBron James did. I know I follow sports, you probably, but he was out there making apologies for the Chinese government, but he claims to be so woke and so pro-black and all these things. But when some of the athletes were speaking out against Nike and some of the other practices of the Chinese government, then he pounced all
Veritas
over them.
93, this is him.
These people are just out there, and they're agents for China. So that's pretty much all.
I'll tell you, Chuck. Yeah, they are. And Nancy Pelosi and her she has a whole bunch of money in China where they set up these fake deals. It's all in the Peter Schweitzer book. And we've got these 3 Olympic defectors playing for Team China. I mean, to me, what they've done is treason.
Treasonous.
Yeah. And they'll
because it's conditional what they're checked on. Now it just depends on who's putting it out there. If our beloved President Trump had put it out there, the same comment, or Governor DeSantis, it would have been.
Oh, and we would be leading the charge. And a lot of people say, well, you guys pick on LeBron James, who likes to spray racist graffiti on his own house. Give me a break. He has cameras everywhere. Exactly. But a lot of people say, well, Dennis Rodman with North Korea. Dennis Rodman brokered the peace deal summit with Trump and Kim Jong-un. That happened through Dennis Rodman, which I know sounds insane. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. And it's insane. Remember he used to run around in the ladies' wedding dress, Rodman, and look what he did. These guys, like John Cena and all these actors and athletes, are like the politicians, are all bought and paid for by China. And Nancy Pelosi's comments are disgusting. I'm going to keep that in my permanent file. Hey, Chuck, don't be a stranger. You always have good calls, and I know Chuck is very active in our chat room on YouTube, but rarely calls.
Yes, I think it's my second time, maybe.
All right, take care, Chuck. All right, thanks for the call. If you're on hold, stand by. I want to tell everyone about Friendly Tire in Margate, where I've been buying tires for over 15 years. They became a sponsor. It's an interesting thing how they became a sponsor. I've been buying tires there for many, many years because they have such low prices at Friendly Tire in Margate. And every time Steve's got a lot of cars. He's always buying tires, and he's even buying tires for cars that aren't in his driveway because he buys tires for the kids. And every time Steve would buy tires, he would tell me after the fact, and I would tell him, "Hey, Steve, you got to go to Friendly Tire in Margate next time you need to tell him." This happened like 3 or 4 times, and then finally he came into the studio one day. This is when we were still in Coral Springs, before we moved up to the radio station. And he said, "Oh, I got to get new tires today." And there's the threads were showing. And I said, "Friendly Tire in Margate." I told him how low the prices were. Steve did not believe me. He's like, "There's no way." And I'm like, "Thanks a lot. I've known you for 20 years. You don't believe me." So anyway, I gave him the directions. He went over there. He called me a few minutes later. He says, "I can't believe it, Brian. The prices are just like you said." Yeah, they're that low. Friendly Tire in Margate on new tires. Brand new tires, as low as $70 a tire. That's right, $70 a tire. And that's out the door and on the road, because when you call Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire for a price, the price he gives you, there are no added fees to that. It's out the door and on the road, because Friendly Tire does not charge you to mount the tire, to balance the tire, or dispose of your old tire. That's right. Every car in my family is on the road on tires from Friendly Tire in Margate. He also has thousands of used tires in stock, starting at just $30 for most sizes. And whatever type of vehicle you have, he can help you. Commercial vehicles, sports cars, luxury vehicles, rust buckets, whatever you got, he's got the tires for it. I was over there yesterday. There was a Porsche Cayenne in the bay getting new tires. He has all the brands that you know and love too, like Bridgestone, Firestone, and all the others. Okay? New tires starting at just $70 a tire. New! Out the door and on the road. Give Friendly Mike a call at Friendly Tire in Margate. He will give you a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445.
That's Friendly Tire in Margate. Make sure you tell him you heard about him on the Steve Kane Show.
Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. This is Chaplain
Steve Kane
Jethro
Show.
from Flint, Michigan.
Hey, Chaplain Jethro in
Hey,
Michigan. What's up, Chaplain?
Well, first of all, I want to thank Mike Lindell for the great product called My Slippers. That cured my neuropathy in a big way. In 10 minutes, after I put them on, it went away. This morning, I woke up with leg cramps, put them on, leg cramps gone.
That's amazing.
I tell you, it's a great product.
Which one do you have? I have the tan fur-lined moccasin My Slippers. Which ones do you have, Chaplain?
I had the blue ones, and they're fur-lined also.
I've heard from several listeners that the Mike Lindell My Slippers make their neuropathy go away, and there's very little treatment for neuropathy, and people that suffer from it, it's torture, so I appreciate that. All right, Jethro, I appreciate the call, and thanks for the kind words about Mike Lindell's My Slippers and how they help with your neuropathy.
Yes, indeed, they do.
And right now, when you use the promo code KANE at checkout, KANE.
Did Jethro not do a great commercial there?
Use the promo code KANE, KANE. Do you think you've come in contact with someone who has coronavirus? Steve Kane's wife Lori did, and she went to Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs to find out if she has coronavirus.
So I came into contact with somebody who tested positive for COVID, and I was scared, and I needed results right away, so I went to Any Lab Test Now in Coral Springs. It was great. I didn't want to have to stay in line for 2 hours and have a swab stuck down my nose into my brain. It was very pleasant. I made an appointment. They got me in within the hour. I was out of there within 20 minutes. Thank goodness the test was negative, and I can go back to work tomorrow. They also tested me for the antibodies, and I haven't been exposed. So do what I did. Go over to Any Lab Test Now at Coral Springs. They give great rates for Steve Kane listeners, and tell them we sent you.
It's worth 15 minutes of your time to have peace of mind and know that you and your family are safe. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood near the Coral Square Mall. You can call them at 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009.
Yeah, Chuck's a great caller.
Heard about them on the radio.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group.
Hey guys, by the way, I put the Marco Polo group link up there. I can't talk about it now because I got to come back, but all the Marco Polo people, tell people about that group. Get them to join. You could help me out with that.
To Carl Gaines. Call toll free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for it.
Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, g'day, Brian. I'm from, it's Brett from Australia, mate.
Oh, my goodness. This is reunion day. Chuck in Central Florida. Now, Brett in the land down under in Australia. Good. Hey, long time no talk, Brett, in Australia.
Yeah, I watch your show. I try and catch up as much as I can.
I thought they had you so locked up down there in Australia they wouldn't let you use the internet or telephones.
Yeah, well, luckily we can. That's about all we can do. We can't do anything else, so lock down our states. But, look, I just wanted to say, mate, I think politicians should stay out of the Olympics. The Olympic Games is about sportsmanship. It's about competition. And now, over the last decade, it's just become a political slur match. Nancy Pelosi went way over the line. Nancy Pelosi shouldn't have opened her mouth. And especially when it comes to China. I mean, it's meant to be a competition of countries and sportsmen and women competing in events and trying to win. And now it's just become a political game. It's like a big tennis thing that happened here where we kicked out that from Europe.
Yeah.
And vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
It's just political.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, listen, a lot of it is because they're clamping down. You know, we've got MAGA here in America. We've got these MAGA truckers in Canada that have driven to the Canadian capital. And I know what you guys are dealing with in the land down under. And, you know, what President Trump did when he came down the escalator is he woke up the entire English-speaking world. and our brothers and sisters in Canada, in Australia, in the UK, here in the United States, we're united against this establishment that sold out all of our countries to China and corporate donors. That's it. I mean, it's terrible.
Yeah, 100% correct, mate.
Yeah.
It's unless we stand up, it's never going to change. But it's a shame that the Olympics. I mean, the Commonwealth Games is pretty much the same thing. I think it's only going to last for maybe another 6 or 7 years, and then
I'll ask you as an Australian. We've got these 3 American athletes that have jumped ship and are playing for Team China. I mean, I'm just disgusted by it. They're traitors. It's treason.
Cancel that. I cancel their citizenship and leave them there.
Damn straight.
Yeah, that is just treason, mate. Damn treason.
Sometimes there'll be a thing like there'll be some guy who plays basketball here in the United States, and he's from Australia, for example. The Olympics come around, he plays for Australia. But this is different. These are American citizens that have left Team USA to go play for a foreign country. This isn't like someone from another nation who's over here playing ball or playing sports over here because we've got the professional teams with the big money. Like some guy plays baseball, he might be the best pitcher in the league, and he's from Mexico. Olympics come around, he plays on Team Mexico, and then he comes back. That's different. These are U.S. citizens that have committed treason and are playing for Team China. One of the guys is whiter than me.
Yeah. Look, mate. Honestly, I leave them there.
Hell yeah, damn straight.
I'd also check their bank accounts because I bet you there's a lot of money in there.
Oh yeah, well probably in Chinese banks.
Yeah.
Hey, Brett in Australia. Thanks for calling, and don't be a stranger. Long time no hear, and we always like to hear from the penal colony of Australia with what's going on. It breaks my heart. I watch Sky News on YouTube out of Australia, which is some of the best news on the planet. Sky News in Australia. If you want to know what's going on in America, look up Sky News in Australia on YouTube. They got all the stories on what's going on here in America, and it's great.
Yeah, well, we care about you, mate. I mean, we've been mates for over 100 years.
Mm-hmm.
We'll still keep fighting, and we're still mates, and hopefully, in the my mother-in-law, her brother lives in Australia. He moved to Australia like 40 years ago. He's married to an Australian lady, and he will not talk to his sister because she voted for President Trump. He's down there in Australia somewhere. Won't talk to his sister because she voted for Trump. Can you imagine? He sounds like a wanker.
Yeah, that's right. Take care, man. Thanks for the call. You know what? You're right. I know him, and he is. Oh, man. If you're just tuning in, Nancy Pelosi doing a PR statement for China. This is Nancy Pelosi's warning to the Team USA members.
I would say to our athletes, you're there
Wesley,
to
$5 super chat.
compete.
Thank you. Everyone thank Wesley.
Do not risk incurring the anger of the Chinese government because they are ruthless. I know there is a temptation on the part of some to speak out while they are there. I respect that, but I also worry about what the Chinese government might do to their reputations, to their families.
Wow. Okay, so she's saying your families are in danger, you are in danger, Team USA, and I brought with me this morning Peter Schweizer's book, Red-Handed: How American Elites Get Rich Helping China Win by Peter Schweizer. And I'm going to read this book over the weekend. And I was just flipping through, using the index, finding the parts about Pelosi. On page 62, which is the chapter on Capitol Hill, listen to this. This is when Pelosi comes up in the Schweitzer book. The China Fund. Under normal market, this is page 62 of Peter Schweitzer's book. The China Fund. Under normal market conditions, the Matthews China Fund seeks to achieve its investment objective by investing at least 80% of its net assets, which include borrowings for investment purposes in the common and preferred stocks of companies located in China. In addition to Paul Pelosi, that's Nancy's husband, serving on the board, the Pelosi's had a big chunk of money invested in the Matthews China Fund. In 2010, the Pelosi's held between $5 million and $25 million in a Matthews Fund specializing in Asian investment. Paul Pelosi, Nancy's husband, received partnership income between $100,000 and $1 million. The Pelosi's had previously become, this is page 62, moving into 63 of Peter Schweizer's book. The Pelosi's had previously become involved in other China ventures as well. Paul Pelosi's classmate from Georgetown, Vincent Woofington, set up a limousine service called Global Ambassador Concierge, which catered to ultra-high net worth individuals traveling around the world. One big market for the global, Beijing's 2008 Summer Olympics. In Congress, Nancy Pelosi had initially been critical of China hosting the Olympic Games, arguing that its human rights record should prevent it from such an honor. The year after her husband bought shares in Global Ambassador Concierge in China, Nancy Pelosi reversed course and opposed a boycott of Beijing hosting the Olympic Games. Wow. Nancy Pelosi's son, Paul Jr., was looking for commercial opportunities on the mainland of China, and he embarked on a series of ventures that involved Chinese investors and clients. In June 2010, Nancy Pelosi's son became the chair of the Universal Energy and Services Group Advisory Board for a company called Treetop Industries. Upon announcing his appointment, the company declared that Paul Jr., Pelosi's son, and the company chairman planned to travel to Vietnam and China to meet investors and attempting to arrange meetings in D.C. with appropriate federal agencies. It goes on. Beginning in 2020 and extending for more than a year, the United States Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, blocked efforts by Congress to investigate, the origins of COVID. And it goes on. Page 62 and 63, and they're just getting started. Peter Schweizer's book, Red Handed. I wonder if any of that has something to do with what Nancy Pelosi is talking about involving the Olympics right now. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, this is Sandra from Indiana.
Hey, Sandra.
Hey, I just have two things. If the American Olympic team said anything against the Chinese while they were there, they would be held as political prisoners. And why is the Olympics being held in communist countries anyway?
Mm-hmm. Well, listen, there's been a history of the Olympics being held in places like, Hitler's Berlin, Moscow. But when the Olympics were in Moscow, we boycotted the Olympic Games. There was the Summer Olympics in 1980 because of the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan. Okay? So, so we should, this is outrageous. Any thoughts on these 3 U.S. citizens that have left Team USA to play for Team China?
Yes, they should not be allowed back into the innocent ones that are going there just to compete for our country. If they did say anything against the communist countries while they're... No,
that's not, that may happen now because China's employees are running America. Biden, Pelosi. You think that if Trump were in the White House, our American athletes and their families would be worried about saying something in China? I don't think so. Hey, listen, I got to run for a break, but thanks for the call. Now, I want to talk a moment about the Thomas Edison of sleep, the inventor of the MyPillow. Mike Lindell, his bank canceled him because he supports Trump. You heard this, the bank in Minnesota. It's outrageous. It's disgusting. He's being sued for $1.3 billion with a B because of his support of President Trump. Mike Lindell said, the best thing you can do to help him is to go to MyPillow and buy the great products there. And when you use our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, you get huge discounts and you support Mike Lindell and the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show and the most pro-Donald Trump show on the planet. Now listen to this. There's some huge
Well, anyway, what's Joe Biden going to do? Arrest a sitting governor? I mean, honestly. But we have to have...
Do you think he would?
I would welcome
We're not
that
that far
challenge.
away.
I would welcome that challenge because he's failing at his duty. The federal government is failing us in Arizona.
Wow. Wow, that's Carrie Lake. She said she's going to build a wall on Arizona land. She's going to stop this. And we're also on the air 7 nights a week, overnights, midnight till 6 a.m. So you can check us out in all those places and platforms. And if you want to watch in high definition, you can check out my YouTube channel. I stream every morning on YouTube. I have a very opinionated and active chat room there. Just search Brian Craig or Brian Craig Show on YouTube, and my YouTube channel will come up. I also upload my podcast there and much, much more. And it's a very good community there. I know you will enjoy. Now, yesterday, after the show, do you guys know what I did yesterday morning after the show? Yeah, no, I got off the air, and later in the morning, I stopped by the Festival Marketplace at AJ's Natural Wellness Shop and stopped on in. And it's that time to check in with Janet Cimarelli from AJ's Natural Wellness Shop in the Festival Marketplace. Janet Cimarelli, good morning. Hold on, let me see here. We got the phones working. Janet Cimarelli, good morning.
Good.
Ah, there we go.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I stopped into AJ's Natural Wellness Shop yesterday. I missed you. I talked to Anita. And, boy, you guys have you've changed the shop around a little bit since I last stopped in. It's looking great.
We are getting more and more and more inventory in to meet the needs and the questions of the people who stop by and see us. So I'm so sorry I missed you, but I'm so glad you got to see the store.
Oh, I looked around at some new products, and Anita was showing me a product that you have that helps that can help people that have what's that ringing in the ears? Tinnitus? Mm-hmm.
Okay, and within minutes, people who've been dealing with tinnitus for maybe 10, 15 years, they get relief that they can it sounds funny, relief they can hear, but right away, it works so very quickly. It's astonishing. The information coming back from the people using it is just remarkable. So, Nutramastic nasal spray, 2 sprays in each nostril twice a day, or as often as someone may need it, and it's astonishing. One of the things I was going to talk about today was brain support, because I've had people calling me with regard to memory, confusion, focus, concentration, recall, all of that. And I just want to let your listeners know that we have so much to support brain chemistry. We have acetyl L-carnitine, a very, very special version of carnitine that is supportive of brain chemistry. We have neurotropics. We have
Everything's fine in the feed. Refresh it if you need to, but the audio and visual is fine.
Formulas. And if the first formula you have doesn't work just the way you want it, you might try a slightly different formula. But what you want to support those brain formulas with is Wiley's Summit DHA. That is the specific type of omega-3 that is going to be supportive of brain chemistry. Remember, your brain works on glucose and oxygen, so you have to raise your oxygenation level, and you can do that with ubiquinol. We have a variety of different choices. So, and then we go back to that Nutramastic nasal spray, free breathing. You're going to, when you breathe freely, your oxygenation to your brain is supported. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Nutramastic nasal spray, Wiley Summit DHA, acetyl L-carnitine. Planet Source is a brand new line of products that we have at AJ's, and they have remarkable research with regard to their brain supporting.
Yeah, that's right. And I know talking to some of our listeners on the phone, a lot of them do need brain support. But a brain is required, though, so some of you, she may not be able to help. But AJ's Natural Wellness Shop in the Festival Marketplace, very easy to find. The festival, of course, is just east of the Turnpike on the south side of Sample in Pompano. Go in the main entrance, walk back towards the food court, which is a short walk. Right before the food court, look west, you'll see the information booth. That's where AJ's is. And today at 10 a.m., and on every Friday, Tuesdays as well, on all of our radio stations and the iHeartRadio app, catch Janet Cimarelli, licensed nutrition counselor, and from AJ's Natural Wellness Shop, on her radio show on all of our radio stations today, every Friday, every Tuesday at 10 a.m. All right, Janet Cimarelli, have a great weekend, and we will talk next week.
You do the same. Great weekend. See you.
All right, take care. We'll be back.
1470 FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
If you suffer with diabetes, there's a 25% chance that you'll develop a foot
Steve Kane Show.
that can lead to severe health consequences.
Hold on. Steve Kane Show. Hold on.
At the sole authority at
the trolls. Okay, where am I going here? I got to regroup.
And custom inserts. Medicare recipients are entitled to 1 pair of quality diabetic shoes and 3 custom inserts. Call the sole authority today, 954-597-7060.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Steve Kane radio listeners love Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca.
I went over to a Champagne Automotive, and I gotta say that this man is the most fair mechanic I have dealt with in my entire life. We took a car over there that was not being used yet. You know, it belonged to my 90-year-old dad. Everybody I had taken it to before was charging an astronomical amount of money. But when we took it over there, Eddie took a look at it, and I gotta say that this man fixed the car, it's running like a charm. Anybody that needs a mechanic, I strongly recommend Eddie, and he is just the best thing that's happened to this family as far as car maintenance goes. It's fixed. Bottom line, it's fixed, and the price was right.
Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca will never do a repair on your car that your car doesn't need. And their prices are low. Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca.
Steve Kane Show.
561-245-8101.
Hold on.
561-245-8101.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's 1-888-GO-KANE-1. And now...
All right, hour number 3 has begun. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. Let's just go back to the phones. You're on the radio. What is your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Lenny from Delaware.
I'm going to be nice.
To get the job. There's too many people that in the country. They have no Social Security, so nobody can get.
That's right. Well, and if they do have a Social Security number, they've stolen it from somebody. Hey, listen, thanks for the call, Del Rey. Once per day. 1 call per day. Oh, yeah, okay. Listen, it's Black History Month. I was talking about this yesterday, and of course, Black History Month falling in the shortest month of the year, and I've always wondered why that is. Why is Black History Month in the shortest month of the year? Is there a conspiracy? Is it systemic racism? Is it a coincidence? I don't know. I just know that Black History Month is in the shortest month of the year. Now, one of the most liberal places in our country is the People's Republic of Massachusetts. That's right. Home of President Kennedy, home of Elizabeth Warren. Listen to this. A private school in Massachusetts in celebration of Black History Month, did this. Listen to this. This is from WCVB Channel 5, ABC News. Massachusetts school choice of fried chicken for Black History Month lunch has created controversy. Westwood, Massachusetts. A Massachusetts private school's choice to promote fried chicken as a lunch to celebrate the start of Black History Month is creating controversy among the student body. Boy. Students at the Xaverian Brothers High School and all-boys school in Westland heard the following announcement over the school PA system Tuesday morning. In honor of Black History Month, one way we will celebrate is by highlighting a traditional meal each week that is a staple in Southern Black history. Today's lunch, fried chicken. Honestly, I think it's just a big stereotype. It could be seen as a little racist, said senior Liam Baker. It's the first day of Black History Month. They couldn't have come up with a better thing than fried chicken for African cuisine. It really doesn't make sense. It's overhyped. We eat chicken every single day, said another senior. We're learning more about Black history. It's something that every single school should do. The student body vice president, Michael Earl, said in a statement that the administration must first acknowledge that their ignorance is perpetrated by a racist stereotype that they have, and they must issue a formal apology. Xaverian school officials said the effort was an attempt to educate students about Black history and culture, and that the meal was chosen by an African-American food service employee. According to the private school, the announcement went on to note that after the Civil War, some newly freed African-American women gained economic independence by selling fried chicken. And they were honoring them, I guess. Regrettably, our message was poorly communicated, resulting in some perceiving it as a negative stereotype, reads a statement from Xaverian Brothers High School. We are saddened by the outcome. We are going forward. We will strive to ensure that all members of our community understand the significance of our efforts to celebrate Black History Month. Okay. Someone's going to be fired by Monday for this. I mean, that's just a reality. Someone will be fired. Who I do not know, but someone will be fired. Hopefully, not. I think this is just a misunderstanding. But the reason this happened is because this school is run by white liberals. Okay, and white liberals don't really associate with Black people too much. And what I came to learn over the years, why white liberals promote affirmative action and Black History Month and all these special things, is because they're racist, right? They're racist, white liberals. They don't associate with Black people. They don't know anything about Black people. And they just assume everyone is just as racist as they are. And that's how things like this happen. But it's a humorous story. But, hey, they should be serving chicken from Wings Plus in Coral Springs, and they would have no problem. No one would complain about that. I don't care who they are, because they have the best chicken you've ever had anywhere. All right, well, listen, guys, there's a lot more to get into. I'm going to touch on a few other things here before we take the next break, and then I will go back to the phones. I wasn't going to mention this, and the story is now like in its third day. This business of Giuliani on The Masked Singer. The first couple of seasons ever performed worse. As soon as they saw Mayor Giuliani, judges Ken Jeong and Robin Thicke left the stage in protest. Now, a couple years back, Sarah Palin was a guest, and they didn't walk out on her. They walked out on Giuliani. And let me tell you something about this, okay? I wasn't going to bring this up, but it's like day 3 of this story. Everybody, and I want to talk about this. Because I've heard people all over social media and on TV the last couple of days disrespecting Mayor Giuliani. And they walked off stage because of his Trump association. First off, I have never heard I have never heard people on the left judge an attorney based on their clients. Alan Dershowitz, the great liberal lawyer that everyone loves, represented Nazis. A lawyer represents a child molester. I've never heard them say, well, everybody's entitled to a legal defense except Trump. But the other thing is this, okay? Mayor Giuliani is a great, great American, and I don't mean that in the Hannity sense. He really is. On September 11th, when America was under attack, every member of the government fled. Cheney was in the bunker. Bush was in the mountain out at NORAD, where the Stargate is, you know. The entire United States Congress, both houses, were flown to military bases. The entire government, every official of the federal government was in a bunker and hiding during 9/11. Mayor Giuliani, the mayor of New York City, got in a car during the attack, went to ground zero, and took charge while America was under attack. Everyone else was hiding. Everyone else was chaotic. Mayor Giuliani went to the front lines of the war on terror during the attack and took charge, and he handled things as well as anyone could ever possibly do. That's why we call him America's mayor. He's a war hero. He is the Sergeant York, Audie Murphy of the war on terror. While everybody else in the government was hiding, ask Biden where he was. Ask Hillary where she was. I don't have to ask Kamala because she was, I think, was at Willie Brown's house. Ask Pelosi where she was. They were in hiding. Not Giuliani. He's an American war hero. Okay? And just because he's associated, you do not disrespect war heroes. He's like General Eisenhower. So, Robin Thicke, screw you, okay? Okay? Now I know why you and your father didn't get along. And Dr. Kim Jong-il, whatever his name is, screw you too. Go back to your perverted hangover movies. These are disgusting people disrespecting an American hero like Mayor Giuliani. All right, I'm going to take our break. If you're on hold, stand by. I'll get back to the calls after the break. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631.
Dr. Matez here from the Biostation West Delray. Many of you are
Steve Kane Show.
The famous erection injection.
Hey, Rick.
Extremely effective treatment
Steve Kane
for
Show.
erectile dysfunction made popular
Hey, Barry, hold on.
here on the Steve Kane Show. I'm here to tell you that the erection injection is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the extensive array of treatment options now available at the Biostation West Delray. Our custom compounded products yield combinations and dosages that increase the efficacy of Viagra and Cialis greatly. We also offer treatments that can correct the problem at its source, such as PRP and sound wave pulse therapies that restore your natural function. State-of-the-art testing and the most current treatment options all available in one place, the Biostation West Delray. If you want to correct your erectile problems once and for all, call us at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
All right, and it's time to check in with attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Barry Siegel, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. What do you have for us today, attorney Barry Siegel?
Well, talking about, we talked about it being February, the month of Valentine's, and taking care of our loved ones, especially the ones who had memory issues or incapacity issues, and how important it was to have a power of attorney. I want to expand on that today. Some people may not understand completely what a power of attorney is. It's a very important estate planning document that helps you during your lifetime. So if you become incapacitated and you're not able to make decisions involving financial issues or business issues or even legal issues, this allows you the power of attorney to name an agent. In fact, you would name an agent, and we always suggest at least a backup, or you can name co-agents to step in and make these decisions for you. These are decisions that you could have made on your own had you had your mental capacity, but because you don't, you've named by doing so, we don't have to have the courts get involved and potentially do a guardianship. And this power of attorney is very important.
Oh, somebody got the
down
Stargate
road
joke.
If we
Yes.
ever needed to try to get to government benefits to pay for long-term care, the power of attorney can make the difference between potentially qualifying and potentially not qualifying if your income is over and above the Medicaid limit. So the power of attorney is one of the most important estate planning documents in your portfolio. Not only should you have one, but you should also make sure that it is up to date, because sometimes financial institutions will not accept an older power of attorney. So we always talk about reviewing your trust and your will. It's also a great idea to have your power of attorney and your healthcare documents reviewed.
Well, see, that's something, because I always thought that a power of attorney was forever. But you're telling us now that may not be the case. Wow.
I suggest that it get reviewed every 5 years.
Yeah.
Then you want to have the power of attorney here in Florida if you're going to be a Florida resident, or if you spend significant time. If you're a snowbird and you spend significant time here, then you should have the power of attorney in your home state and one here in Florida.
Wow. There's so much to know, but you know what? You guys don't have to worry about that, because attorney Barry Siegel and the Siegel Law Group, they'll take care of all that for you. And it's a completely free consultation, as well as a free review of your current estate planning documents with the Siegel Law Group. When you mention you heard Barry on the radio. Online, SiegelLawGroup.com. SiegelLawGroup.com. You can also call toll-free 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. All right, Barry, have a great weekend. We will talk next week.
You too.
All right, take care. All right, back to the phones. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian?
Yes.
Brian? Good morning. This is Bill of Deerfield Beach. Just a quick question. What is the phone number of Champion Automotive? I lost it, please.
Well, I don't know the number for Champion Automotive, but I have the number for Champagne Automotive Repair. Yeah. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. No, here's the number for Champagne. You ready? Okay, you're writing. You got something to write on?
Yes, sir.
561 245 8101. Now read it back to me. Read it back to me.
Okay, thank you. 245-8101.
That's correct. You got it. All right. Make sure you tell them you heard about him on the Steve Kane Show.
I have, of course.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right. Take care. All right. Oh, this is Old Home Week. Here's someone we haven't heard from in a long time, but not long enough. Rick the Deficit Hawk.
Yeah, you got my blood boiling this morning, supporting that treasonous traitor coward who ran on 9/11, Rudy Giuliani. He ran from Ground Zero. When you see him on tape, he's running away from...
You must be watching it in reverse. Does he run away backwards? What a piece of crap you are. You know, listen. Hey, listen. I don't mind. Rudy Giuliani, go on YouTube, guys. There's an emotional and incredible documentary on 9/11, the one that the French made with the firemen, that was hosted by Robert De Niro. Excuse me, I'm talking. I'll get back to you in a minute. Hosted by Robert De Niro before he became a jerk. And you see Mayor Giuliani. This really is emotional for me to watch. I'll never watch it again, but you need to watch it. Mayor Giuliani is walking down by Ground Zero. The attack is going on, and you start hearing these explosions. And people are, what are these explosions? And you see Mayor Giuliani look over. He says, my God, that's the sound of bodies hitting the ground. These are people jumping out above the crash zone in the Trade Center. You know, I don't mind playing games with callers and having fun and talking to jerks and things like that. But don't disrespect America's mayor, okay? Don't do that.
You're a lunatic.
I know.
He ordered the firefighters off the pile that were looking for the remains of...
Okay. During the attack, I'm going to move on. Do you have something else? I'm not going to let you sit here and soil the name of the Audie Murphy of 9/11. All right?
Comparing Rudy Giuliani
Yeah.
You're out of your mind.
Yeah, he's even greater than Audie Murphy because Audie Murphy was in the service doing his job. Mayor Giuliani is a civilian leader. Goodbye, Rick the Deficit Hawk. Come on. There's just certain things that are in bad taste, and attacking Mayor Giuliani is one of those. I've told you guys, for those that haven't heard this before, I'll just tell you this real quick because I've told this story many times, but it was a really embarrassing moment. Steve and I do not go to political events very often. We get invited to stuff all the time, and we're just not social guys, and I just don't do it. But we were invited to the Lincoln Day dinner to sit at Mayor Giuliani's table. I know some of you have heard me tell this story. It was so embarrassing. And I didn't want to go, and they said, well, you'll get to sit next to Mayor Giuliani. And I said, okay, I'm there for that, because I love Mayor Giuliani. This was a long time ago, and it was a dark room, and there were very famous people there, too. Oh, my gosh, famous people. Not just politicians, I mean like really super famous people. And so Steve and I were sitting there, it's dark. There was an open bar, I will admit. And I didn't see Giuliani anywhere, and I told Steve that I was pissed. I said, because I had to get up the next morning to be on the air. I said, they told, we don't like coming to these things. That's what I said to Steve. And Steve is sitting next to me, to my right, and I'm talking to Steve, and I say, I don't like coming to these things. I know you don't either. We got to get up to be on the radio tomorrow. Got to be on the air at 6. They told us we were going to get to sit with Mayor Giuliani. We're only here so we can sit and have dinner with Mayor Giuliani, and there's no Giuliani. I can't believe it. And I'm like, was raising my voice, and Steve just moved a little bit to the side. Mayor Giuliani was sitting right next to Steve, reading over his cards for his speech. He didn't say anything. I saw Mayor Giuliani. He laughed, and he just kept reading. I felt so stupid. But it's oh my! They did not invite me back next year. But it was funny. All right, let's go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Christian Martin.
Hey, Christian Knuckles. What's up, man?
Hey, listen. I want to say that for Biden to cut fraud off from the therapeutics, that is it's like an act of war. It reminds me of FDR cutting the Japanese off in the 30s for their oil. It's an act of war.
Oh, so you're justifying the attack on Pearl Harbor?
I'm
okay. You're talking about that we had an embargo against China. We had an embargo against Japan because they invaded China and were committing massacres.
Always get me off on the side.
No, I mean I just wanted to make sure you're not justifying the attack on Pearl Harbor.
The issue's not that. That was an analogy.
Okay.
Forget the analogy. Biden has declared war on.
Well, what happened is Biden seized control of the monoclonal antibody treatment, and at a federal level, and what happened is the greatest governor ever, Governor Ron DeSantis had set up these monoclonal antibody facilities throughout the entire state, and then he had a press conference and he was talking about it so people knew. And then immediately Biden comes in and has been buying it up. And I didn't realize how bad it was until Steve had COVID a few weeks ago, and I was trying to find where he could get the monoclonal antibody treatment. He was too sick to go on the internet, And I found out you can't really get it. Some emergency rooms have limited supplies of it, but the federal government bought. And it's not like there's a shortage. It's a shortage that they created, like the fake supply chain crisis they created. I know, and they did it because they hate DeSantis, and they want Florida to go blue, so they figure that we'll turn on DeSantis because Biden bought all the monoclonal antibody treatment.
Well, they want to punish the citizens of Florida who elected.
And what they don't understand is this. Florida is a red state. We've had Republicans running the state since 1998, but not everybody in Florida is a Republican. We got a lot of Democrats. In the community I'm in, where President Trump lives at Mar-a-Lago, these are Democrat strongholds. So they're willing to punish their own people. Right?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't have a comment on that.
But, I mean, think about that. Take care, Christian. Oh, I just want to mention this attack yesterday stinks. This ISIS attack just stinks. We killed 10 women and kids. They're blaming the guy, right? They said he had a suicide vest. He hit the button. How do they know that? You know, Biden's got a lot of problems going on here. He's got a lot of problems, and what he's always trying to do here with Ukraine and with this raid on this ISIS guy yesterday, where 10 women and children were killed. Okay, he's trying to prove that he's a strong man who's in charge, that he's not feeble, that he's not checked out, he's not suffering from cognitive decline, that he's a tough guy with balls. And he's taking us to war, if he can, against Russia. He's making things really bad over there. Killed 10 women and children in this attack yesterday. I'm not saying that an ISIS leader should be allowed to get away. I'm not opposed to taking out ISIS leaders. Nobody is. But do you think President Trump would have done it that way? It reminds me of when Obama took out that ISIS leader, and he killed that American girl that they kidnapped, the sex slave. I'd forgotten her name. I'm so sorry. I don't mean disrespect, but you know what I'm talking about? Remember when Obama did that? He killed that American girl who had been kidnapped and was a sex slave of ISIS for all those years? And now we got Biden back and doing this crap? How many innocent people... Well, I'm serious about this. How many innocent people have died because, I almost said Obama, might as well be, because Biden is trying to prove to people he doesn't have Alzheimer's, right? Those American service personnel at the airport in Afghanistan, the American hostages left behind, you know, even this pregnant New Zealander is his fault. The 10 women and children yesterday, I mean, this guy is just evil. He is the most evil, corrupt man to ever be president of the United States. I'm sorry, that's true. Who has been more corrupt than this man? You know, and we lost a helicopter in that. You know, that ISIS raid yesterday, our helicopter went down. You know what it reminded me of? The failed Jimmy Carter raid to rescue the U.S. hostages in Iran. What was that operation called? Desert Eagle? Desert... What was the name? What was the code name for the operation that Jimmy Carter ordered to rescue the American hostages? The one where all the helicopters crashed in the desert in a sandstorm? The disastrous one? Anybody remember the name of that operation? I could Google it, but I'll ask you guys. Let's take our break, all right? It is 8:30 in the morning. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. On the radio since 1977. Back after this.
Attention seniors and those who care about them. This is Brian Craig. I'm in studio with Debbie from I Will Advisors.
No, not Desert Storm. That was Bush. I'm talking about Carter.
Advocates. Debbie, what is I Will Advocates, and how are you helping seniors?
Well, Brian, over the past few years of owning a Medicare insurance agency, we've learned that there's a huge need for Medicare advocacy, that a lot of people don't have a child or a spouse that can assist
Now,
them with
listen, guys, there's a link that I pinned to the chat. It's to my Marco Polo group. Marco Polo is a completely free app. There's a paid version, but you don't need it. I have the free version, and it's my group. And a lot of people here in the chat room will tell you they're a part of it. It is a an app where you can leave voice comments, video messages, post whatever you want. And we got a great community there. It's kind of like an off-the-grid community where we talk about all kinds of things that we don't talk about here, and you can on other platforms. And the link to my group is right there, and it's a completely free app. Yeah, Chaplain Jethro's in there, Dee's in there, Chuck, who called in earlier, is in there, a whole bunch of people. Sarah from Colorado.
Now, this is a service that you're offering. Now, they do not have to be an existing client of I Will Advisors to take advantage of this, right?
Oh, of course not. No, we're here for any Medicare client. We can assist in any way. We don't need to be your insurance agent. We're just here to help you with your medical needs.
This is an incredible opportunity for those of you who are Medicare recipients. Debbie at I Will Advocates will help you with your prescriptions. You'll set up doctor's appointments for them, including the primary care physician and specialist, right?
Of course, we'll assist in anything helping you find new doctors.
They'll help you with your medical billing. They'll help you with your insurance billing. If you feel you've been billed wrong by your doctor, they'll step in for that and even help you if you're in the hospital. Basically, what you're offering is a concierge service to senior citizens.
That's exactly it.
That's amazing. I've never heard of anything like this before. So how much does this cost?
Well, for just $20 a month, you will have the security of knowing that you have an experienced, compassionate advocate.
Eagle Claw?
To learn more, call
Eagle Claw? Okay. That doesn't sound familiar.
345-1214, 954-345-1214, or go online. You can sign up online at iwilladvocates.com. That's iwilladvocates.com.
Well, everybody's saying that. Everybody must have Googled it. Yeah, Eagle Claw. And what's happened in Canada, they've just caught up to the Tea Party movement. That's what's happened. And the Freedom Convoy is the Canadian Tea Party. And this Canadian Tea Party group, the Freedom Convoy, has the leadership and the media in Canada as panicked as our leadership, our establishment, and our media are panicked over the MAGA movement. And they have never, in Canada, just like in this country when the Tea Party was new, they have never, in Canada, had conservative-minded people organize and demonstrate against government anything. This is the first time that there's been a meaningful, large demonstration of conservative-minded people against the establishment rule of things in Canada. And they're having a meltdown over it. And mark my words, this is the beginning of the end of this boy Prime Minister Trudeau's reign. Because he and the rest of these Canadian officials are really being seen for what they are. You got the police chief threatening to call in the Canadian Army to take care of these guys. What do? They seize their money, their GoFundMe money. You know, these guys, they're denying them food at the restaurants. And these guys, they've been up there a week. They're running their trucks to keep warm because it's really cold in Ottawa this time of year. I'm wearing shorts right now here in Florida, but in Ottawa, it's cold. Baby, it's cold outside. So they're running their trucks to keep warm. They're losing income. They need money for fuel to keep the heat going in the trucks. So that's why they shut down the GoFundMe. Now, I know the Freedom Trucker leaders have said they expect GoFundMe to release those funds. I don't know. I wouldn't be so sure about that. Maybe they will, but maybe they won't. And I'm telling you, there has been some type of government interference into this GoFundMe, Canadian government interference. Because they want to try to end any, they believe, the establishment believe that only liberals have a right to protest. Conservatives don't. And I'll tell you, I've been following this Freedom Convoy up there. It is completely peaceful. Don't believe any of this garbage you're hearing. It's nonviolent and it's peaceful, causing some traffic delays. But how much coverage have you seen of the Freedom Convoy in the news? Not very much. Even on so-called conservative news, you're not seeing very much. Because you know what? The United States government, our political establishment, and our corrupt media collude with the political establishment and corrupt media of Canada, and there's a blackout on this. I played a clip on the show yesterday. The CBC, Canadian Broadcasting Company, their national news said that they have sources telling them that Russia is behind the organization of the Freedom Truckers because of Canada's position standing up for Ukraine against Russia. Are you kidding me? They went on national TV with that line of crap. And this is a movement this is a protest like we've never seen before, ever. And the sacrifice of these guys, how much money do these guys, how much do you think they've lost, these truckers? They're not earning. And, they just came out of Christmas season in Canada, too.
and working people are short on money at the start of the year oftentimes. There's a lot of sacrifice going on with these Canadian truckers, and let me tell you, they're strong people, because this government up there is trying to do everything to shut them down. Calling them Russians in the news, cutting off their money, not feeding them food at the restaurants, denying them food, threatening to send in the army. Never seen anything like this. And I'll tell you, I've seen online, because I follow this on the Twitter and on YouTube and stuff, because they're not covering this on television. The Freedom Truckers, they're standing strong and vowing to stay there until this is resolved. See, only liberals like Occupy Wall Street are allowed to have sit-ins and protest and be upset. Working people, conservative-minded people aren't allowed to. And I'll tell you this, don't buy this crap that these guys are all unvaccinated. See, they do this a lot. I tell you, they confuse two issues, right? A lot of these truckers are vaccinated. 85% of truckers in Canada are vaccinated. A lot of these guys are vaccinated. Probably the majority, at least half. But there's a difference between being against mandates and being against vaccines. But they put them together to try to make them dangerous science deniers. That's what the left always do. But I know you guys in this audience stand with the Freedom Truckers, and it's really a shame. The news, even CNN has all this bad press with their creepy scandal with Jeff Zucker. CNN, if they made an issue about the Freedom Truckers and sent people there and actually covered this story, people would forget about Jeff Zucker and would be watching CNN. Because no one else is really covering it. Wouldn't you watch it? I would watch it. I'd watch CNN if they were doing real live on coverage on the scene with the Freedom Truckers. And, the liberals use these GoFundMe campaigns to pay off people all the time. There was a big GoFundMe campaign for that Blasey Ford lady during the Kavanaugh hearings. Remember that? They used to give book deals and stuff. I think Vindman had a big GoFundMe too. Whenever yes, these high-profile Democrat operatives, that's how they pay them, is through crowdfunding campaigns. They don't have to do the book deal thing anymore. They do it through crowdfunding. So there's no doubt that GoFundMe is an arm of the Democrat Party, the deep state, the political establishment. Because there is no reason for them to seize the $10 million Canadian dollars that were donated to them, the Freedom Truckers. No reason at all. There's been no violence, not by the truckers, just traffic congestion. All right, our number toll-free 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Let me play this clip of Schumer. What an idiot this guy is.
And amazing, until 1981, this powerful body, the Supreme Court, was all white men.
Imagine. That's not true. Thurgood Marshall, who was replaced by Clarence Thomas on his passing, was there. He forgot about Thurgood Marshall. And I'll tell you, a lot of people are like, oh, give Schumer a break. Give Schumer a break. He made a mistake. Schumer is reading this. This was a prepared statement. It was a speech that was written. And Schumer and his staff are so stupid, no one said, well, wait a minute, Thurgood Marshall. Maybe since he didn't vote for Biden, he ain't black. I don't know. And no one on his staff, unless they hate him and were trying to screw him, no one on his staff said, hey, Senator, we forgot about Thurgood Marshall.
Until 1981, this powerful body, the Supreme Court, was all white men. Imagine. America wasn't all white men in 1981.
Either was the Supreme Court, stupid.
Wherever.
Wow. These are the people that control our lives. Okay, hold on. That was Carrie Lake. I played her already. Oh, my goodness. All right, listen, we're going to take our last break of the day. Come back with the Gold Report with William Youngerman. Our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. I want to remind everyone, Friendly Tire in Margate. Friendly Tire in Margate. Open on Saturdays. You know, they have thousands of used tires in stock at Friendly Tire and Margate, starting at just $30 for most sizes. But you know, new tires, I'm talking about new tires now, new tires at Friendly Tire and Margate, as low as $70 a tire. And that's out the door and on the road, because remember, Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire and Margate does not charge you to balance the tire, mount the tire, or dispose of your old tire. The price he quotes you is out the door and on the road. Every car in my family is on the highway on Friendly Tire tires. He has all the name brands you know and love, Firestone, Bridgestone, whatever brands you're looking for, they got them. And they can get tires for any type of vehicle, sports cars, luxury vehicles, rust buckets, commercial vehicles. I was in there yesterday. There was a Porsche Cayenne. One of our listeners brought a Bentley in. I missed that. Man, I'd like to see that. Yeah, one of our listeners brought a Bentley into Friendly Tire and Margate. Got new tires on it because the tires are so low. Thousands of used tires in stock as well. Give Friendly Mike a call. He will give you a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Friendly Tire and Margate. Make sure you tell him you heard about him on the radio, and they are open on Saturdays. 954-977-9445. We'll be right back with the Gold Report after this.
Got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, this is Chaplain Jethro from Flint, Michigan.
Hey, Chaplain Jethro in Michigan. What's up, Chaplain?
Well, first of all, I want to thank Mike Lindell for the great product called My Slippers.
Oh, they have Michelin? Yep.
They're off the beat in a big way. In 10 minutes after I put them on, it went away. This morning I woke up with leg cramps, put them on, leg cramps gone.
That's amazing.
I tell you, it's a great product.
Which one do you have? I have the tan fur-lined moccasin My Slippers. Which ones do you have, Chaplain?
I have the blue ones, and they're fur-lined also.
I've heard from several listeners that the Mike Lindell My Slippers make their neuropathy go away, and there's very little treatment for neuropathy, and people that suffer from it, it's torture, so I appreciate that. All right, Jethro, I appreciate the call, and thanks for the kind words about Mike Lindell's My Slippers and how they help with your neuropathy.
Yes, indeed.
Hey there.
Do.
And right now, when you use the promo code KANE at checkout, KANE, save 50% off the MyPillow My Slippers. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener specials, and use our promo code KANE, KANE, for 50% off the MyPillow My Slippers. That's 50% off, but you've got to use the promo code KANE, KANE.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWN.
All righty, 46 minutes after the hour. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian, and it is time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated in Boca with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how are the metals looking today?
Looking good, Brian. Looking good.
Awesome.
So, holding, but interesting developments. We're seeing yesterday the stock market's literally crashing. The Dow Jones down over 500 points. The NASDAQ over 500 points down. Then we see gold up $5.60. I'm sorry, gold down $1.80 yesterday, closing at 1804.60. Silver down 23 cents, closing at 22.39. Platinum down $1 at 1,032, and palladium closed out the day down $42 at $2,268. This morning we had gold all the way up to about $1,815 until the phony baloney jobs reports came out with all kinds of crazy revisions and everything, and we saw all of the markets move lower again, with the stock market's anticipation of being lower on opening. Gold down $6.60 at $1,798. Silver down 14 cents right now at $22.25. Platinum down $17 at $1,015, and palladium down $8 at $22.60. So the markets are constantly finding gyrations in response to all these goofy news reports they come out with, and then huge revisions from previous months. So you begin to wonder if you can trust any of these government numbers. Oil, $92 a barrel today, and that's it's going to be very inflationary down the road. The unemployment rate rose 3.9 to 4% today. And that being said, I think this is a great buying opportunity for the metals. We've been in this trading range for a while, but $1,790 to $1,810, and anything under $1,800 for gold is to be a screaming bargain.
Oh yeah, gold's on sale today, and I was reading this morning. Expected regulation of cryptocurrency is coming anytime, which is going to tank that scheme. But gold has been money for how long? 5,000 years, and I think we got more than 5,000 years to go on that one. Listen, give William Youngerman a call. They open up at 10 a.m. weekdays. Their number 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. Online, WilliamYoungerman.com. And the address, 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto. All right, William Youngerman, have a great weekend. We'll talk next week. Okay, thank you. All right, take care, guys. All right, now we just got a couple minutes left here till the end of the show, and I want to end where we began, because I think this is just disgusting. I will not be watching the Olympic Games. I'm just not going to watch them. And I know some of you say, "Oh, Brian, you never watch." I'm not a sports guy. I don't watch football. I don't watch baseball. I don't watch hockey. I've never seen a basketball game. But the Olympics, I always watch. I always watch the Olympics, and not this year because of the last 2 years, mainly. I'm not going to sit there and watch the opening games. The opening ceremonies of the Olympic Games with a celebration of China. And the final straw for me was Nancy Pelosi. She flew in on her broom to the podium and was talking with a warning not just to Olympic athletes, but to the family members of Olympic athletes.
I would say to our athletes, you're there to compete. Do not risk incurring the anger of the Chinese government, because they are ruthless. I know there is a temptation on the part of some to speak out while they are there. I respect that, but I also worry about what the Chinese government might do to their reputations, to their families.
Wow. So she says that the athletes and their families are in danger if they anger China. What kind of talk is that from the third in the line of succession to this country, the Speaker of the House? What you get from the federal government should be this: China, if you mess with our athletes or their families, that's it, you're done. Not this taking a knee to China. This is insane. And she's a disgusting person. And, I was reading earlier, I brought in my copy of Peter Schweizer's book, Red-Handed, which I'm going to read over the weekend. And I read a couple pages about Pelosi earlier in the show, about all of her millions and millions of dollars in interest in China. So basically, she was the McEnany, Jin Psaki of the Chinese Communist Party, coming out with a prepared announcement from the CCP yesterday. If you get this copy, if you get Red-Handed, How American Elites Get Rich Helping China Win by Peter Schweizer, don't skim it, read it. I read the first chapter, scared the hell out of me. Chapter 2 starts on the Bidens, that's where I'll start. But where I read today was started on page 62. I read page 62 and 3 on the show today, which just is the beginning of Pelosi's family's corrupt interest in China, and it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. And that comment that she's made, I've never heard a senior member of the United States government talk that way before, and I don't think you have either. And I really truly hope that the media call her out today on this. And a lot of times on the media they'll play a clip like that and then they'll laugh. Oh, there's Nancy, huh? This is not funny. This is not funny at all. And I really feel like we're a client state, that we're like occupied by China. There was a TV movie with Chris Christopherson in the 80s called America. It was a TV movie. It was America with a K, and it took place in far in the future, in the year 1998 or something, and the Soviets occupied the United States. I feel that way now. I really do. I feel that way now between Biden's corruption with China And the statement from Hillary, might as well be Hillary. I'm getting like Biden. I'm getting people confused. From Nancy Pelosi yesterday, I feel exactly like we are occupied client state. We're like, remember like they had those satellite states of the Soviet Union in Eastern Europe? I feel that's how we are. And the way they did it, chapter 1 of, I'm not going to spoil the whole book. I mean, you know the gist of what it's about, but the first chapter details the Chinese financial plan to buy off the U.S. Elected officials. And they're getting to the point now with Pelosi where they're not even hiding it anymore. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, John, who the Olympics from a country that had, I mean, I'm not saying there are people that live there, but from a communist country that had started the virus and everybody else?
The communist isn't the problem, okay? What a lot of times the Olympics will be in a country that we don't agree with or have problems with. We've been in China before. But the point is for American excellence to prevail by being the #1 medal winner, which we typically are. This Olympics is different, right? We have a country that has bought off our senior leaders, our president, our Speaker of the House, and many others, right? And, we got the past 2 years. We know what happened with that, right? So we got these two things going on. We have 3 American kids who left Team USA and are playing on the Chinese team. They've defected to Team China from Team USA. They're committing treason. This is very different. This isn't like in Russia or even in Hitler's Germany before the war in 1936. This is different. Jesse Owens, what he did in the Berlin Olympics was amazing, right? He showed that the master race was a lie. By the way, Whoopi Goldberg, Jesse Owens and Hitler, that seemed to be between whites and blacks. I guess she forgot about Jesse Owens. So there's nothing wrong with going to one of these terrible countries and kicking their butt and exposing them, but what we got going on here is much different.
The
people, most of the people over there are prisoners. I mean, they're like us. I mean, our government, they're like prisoners. What I'm not blaming the people of China. I know people from China. Yeah, no, I know people from China, and they're good people, but they're victims of this of the CCP. All right, take care. Yeah. Oh man, but so this is different. This is the worst Olympics ever. I'm sorry, this is the worst Olympics ever, and I really truly hope that these are the lowest television ratings on American television the Olympics have ever received. I'm not going to watch 10 seconds of it. I'm not. And let me tell you, that means something. If you normally watch the Olympics and you don't watch them and their ratings tank, that'll hit them where it hurts here in this. It's not going to stop. There's still going to be liberal jerks promoting China over here in this country, these Democrats. They're all on the take, But it makes a statement. Now, for those that weren't listening earlier, if you go on my YouTube channel, you can see this. I brought in today my Trumpy Bear. And I've had Trumpy Bear behind me during the whole show. I think today's show's been pretty good, and I wonder if this spectacular show we had today had anything to do with the fact that I had Trumpy Bear with me all day. And I don't care. I'm not embarrassed to have Trumpy Bear. I think Trumpy Bear is awesome. Do you think President Trump has a Trumpy Bear? I bet President Trump has a Trumpy Bear. I know I got a Trumpy Bear, and you know what? I'm not the only grown man who does. That's right. And Trumpy Bear, he has a zipper in his neck, which I'm not going to take it out, but he has an American flag blanket you see in the commercial. And I've never taken the flag out because it's folded up perfect inside Trumpy Bear. I'm afraid I won't be able to get it back in. So I keep the flag blanket inside Trumpy Bear. But this is the original. My wife got me this. This is the original Trumpy Bear that came out when Trumpy Bear first was announced on television. So I've had Trumpy Bear for a long time. Now, I want to tell everyone, before we end, we're almost out of time, so I got to be very quick about this. There are incredible specials right now at MyPillow.com. Go to MyPillow.com, scroll down to the image of Mike Lindell holding the American flag, save up to 66%. You can get the MyPillow mattress topper, the 3-inch one, 50% off. The lowest price ever, 70% off the MyPillow towels and more. My name's Brian. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. We'll be back live with you Monday morning at 6 a.m. Have a great weekend.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
All right, guys, that's the show for today. Listen, I put the link up there to the Marco Polo group. So let me just talk about that for a minute. That's Marco Polo. It's a completely free app. That link will take you right there. Okay, 50% off the slippers too there, by the way, with the promo code Kane. It's free for iPhone and Android. There's a paid version, but you have no need to get that. You don't. I have the free version, okay? And it's my group. And it's a great, great community we have there. You can leave voice comments, video messages. You can do anything you want there. I'm in there all the time. I just put a video up there before I left the house this morning to come to the radio station. And a lot of people that you know in this chat room. Wookiees is in there. Dee, Christine, Chaplain Jethro, a whole bunch of others. I got to stop naming names or I'll leave people out. But a lot of people in this chat room are part of that group. Thank you, Sooner Gal. So click that link. It'll take you to where you download it completely free and join the group. You're going to love it. It's a great community, and my wife is always posting in there. We've made a lot of friends in there too, and I know you'll like it. So click it. It's right there. Got to put everything away now. Oh, yeah, today's show was good. I had a lot of good. I didn't even get to all my stuff. But that story with Pelosi is just disgusting. Just disgusting. I got to tell you. I think it's disgusting. And I know that the media, as always, will let her just get away with it because she's a Democrat. And Democrats have complete immunity from any type of crimes or immorality they take part in from these creeps in the media. I gotta turn our voicemail on for the weekend. I'm turning on the voicemail. All right, voicemail's on. Okay, guys, I'm going to take off. Have a great weekend. I'll be back over the weekend, though. You know, I'm always streaming at some point over the weekend. But join that Marco Polo group. The link's right there. It's completely free. You guys will love it. All right, guys, I'll see you soon. Take care. All right, thanks for watching, everyone.